Time that way.
What's up, Cowboys fam? It's your boy Jay Tuck back with another Cowboys fans only episode. And as y'all see, y'all, I got some real special guests in the house. We're going to do it big tonight because our season has finally ended. Yes, season's over. But like I've been saying all along, Cowboys Nation, that's when the fun really starts. So I brought some of my guys. We got Marcus from Bluff to the Cowboys. What's up going on, bro? I got my guy Nick in the house representing the Star Gang. I got my guy John in the house representing SoFlo. And I got it's your boy Sid. Guys, what's going on?
Yeah.
Who wants to start?
I mean, here we are. It's Black Monday officially, right?
Black Monday officially, man. So, yeah, like I said, a lot's been going on. But before we start, man, go ahead, pay the bills, man. Let everybody know where they can find you at. We'll start with you, Marcus.
All right, guys. You can find me on Bluff City Cowboys, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I got a podcast called The Cowboy Zone. We are every Thursday night at 7:30 Central Standard Time. So if you guys are looking for something to watch and get some good Cowboys news and notes, be sure to check me out.
All right, yeah. Nick, see you on deck. Let's go. What's up, Nick?
Yeah, no doubt, man. Obviously, bottom of the screen, if you want to come follow me on Twitter, your_guy_Nicks. Star Gang is the Facebook group and the Facebook page. Come join the group, get a part of the conversation. We're over 3,000 strong. Come like the page. And, of course, for all my YouTube people, we ain't forgot about you. Star Gang Podcast. Hit the sub. Hit me with somewhere down there at Star Game Podcast. When you get over there, hit the sub, hit the notification button, wherever it's at, man. Appreciate y'all.
Right. And my guy Jonathan, what's going on, bro?
SoFlo Cowboys. Yep, you can find us on every social media platform. We love talking Cowboys football. We've been a little busy lately, with the house and everything going on, but we'll be back this offseason grinding. So please like and subscribe. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everything. We're on there.
And last but not least, my guy Sid, what's going on, man?
Man, it's your boy Sid. You know where to find me. Dallas Cowboys, #4 life. Also on Twitter, Sid DC 4 life. And guys, when you get to my YouTube, as Jay Tuck will say, somewhere down there, or even Philly Notion, hit that subscribe.
Right. And you guys, of course, you can find me at Cowboys Fans Only on YouTube. Go ahead, comment, like, subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter at JTuck151. And then also you can get me on CowboysFansOnly.com to get your official CFO Gang merch. I got one more guest, man. I would be remiss if I don't bring in my tag team champ, Spoon, man. But Spoon's having some internet issues. Let's see, Spoon, you good, bro?
Yes, I am. How you doing, boy?
Good. Hold on.
He'll be even better if we can see him.
Yeah, see, Spoon's been using all his Ethernet on that PS5, man.
Man, you got.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
that bootleg internet there, Spoon.
Yeah, man. I got Spoon's internet, man.
Hey, you gotta upgrade.
There you go.
Upgrade.
There he is, kind of, man. What?
Yeah.
You got that
He's
dial-up,
frozen.
his modem, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Spoonie, if you're having problems, you can always turn the video off and just do audio until you feel like.
Yeah, if you want to do that, Spoon, you can do that too.
It'll still keep your icon up there.
He's frozen, so you're gonna have to probably kick
Yeah,
him.
he's in
and
that. He's
bring
in
him
that
back.
new move called buffering.
Uh-oh.
All right, so I gotta kick him out. He's gonna come back in the audio. So my God Spoon's gonna come back in, man. So yesterday, the Dallas Cowboys suffered defeat against the New York Giants, man. And to be honest with y'all, I didn't see it coming. Now I knew it was gonna be a close game, but I expected the Dallas Cowboys, from what we've seen the past few weeks, they were going to handle business, and then we were going to depend on Philly to actually get into the playoffs. But I did not expect to lose yesterday's game. If you saw my video shortly after, Mike McCarthy, like I said, it's the Eagles game. We shook hands and we're cool. But I have a lot of questions when it comes to his game management yesterday. So, Bluff, I'm going to start with you.
All right.
How are you feeling about yesterday's game?
Awful.
Okay.
We should not have lost that game.
Amen.
Hell no.
At the bye week, I came on Star Gang Show, and everybody was kind of skies falling. And I was like, you know what, guys? We're going to win 5 of these next 7. And every other game that I said we will win, we won, except for this one. There's no way we should have lost this game.
Right.
We were better than them. We've been playing well. And honestly, I just feel like the coaches let us down.
Right. So let me dive into that. So I'm gonna get your take on that. When you say the coaches let us down, what are you referring to? I want to see if we're on the same page.
Well, I know we're gonna talk about the obvious challenge,
Right.
for one.
Right.
But I just feel like they weren't calling the plays to take advantage, like I always say, take advantage of our strengths.
Right.
And clearly Zeke was hurt.
Right.
Yep.
And they kept bringing him back in. My only guess would be to let him get 1,000 yards.
Right.
They just didn't strategize to win the game.
Right.
I mean, we can go a bunch of other ways, but we got a lot of people, and I want everybody to give their comments too.
Right. Nick's, how you feeling about yesterday's game, man?
Yeah, I mean, it was a microcosm of the season, right?
Right.
I mean, if you take everything that we saw at different points of the season, it all happened within the 4 quarters. Slow start, check. What are we doing with the running game real quick? Zeke's kind of hurt, not hurt, check. Spotty management from the coaching staff, check. Can't stop the run, check. I mean, it was just kind of one of those things. Then get hot at the very end just to come up short. And, all of our losses all year long, man, it just puts a bow on the season for me, man.
Didn't get calls to go our way. Don't forget that.
Right.
Hey, don't blame the zebras, man, all the time.
I'm not blaming. I'm just putting it out there.
I know.
Because we know the zebras ain't gonna never go our way, man. So it was like, when I even saw the fumble, I was like, they gonna give it back to him, man. It's too much of your question.
Yeah.
So, John, my guy, man, how you feeling? This is a question I'm gonna ask John specifically.
Build us up to let us down, man. 25 years and going.
And see, y'all, John was Team Tank, man, but he started to get a glimmer of hope as the season started to progress. Like, okay, well, I mean, we've been playing well. Things were kind of going better, man, and that's the Dallas Cowboys, man. As soon as they get your hopes up, they let you down.
We knew it would be a long game when Andy Dalton came out there and he was struggling right out in the first half.
Yep.
I mean, I thought we were going to come out there and take advantage of those corners the Giants had. I mean, granted, they have a good defense, but we got some receivers that had some mismatches on that Giants defense. I thought we would take advantage of that, but man, Andy Dalton started off really bad, and I knew it was going to be a tight game. And then Mike McCarthy's non-challenges, that just drove me nuts, man. I got pissed off. Like, it was the first time I really got angry this season. Like, they built us up to really have a shot, and then to lose a game like that, it hurt. I mean, we're all Cowboys fans, right? No matter what we want. Yeah. If you want to tank, yes, but if they're giving us a shot, we'll take it. Right. And we had a shot, and it comes down to a lot of things, but I'm going to put on Mike McCarthy, man. He's got to challenge that play. You got to. That's points off the board, and we could get the ball back and go down and win the game with a field goal. So that was a big mistake in the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Right.
And of course, I mean, and one thing also too, we kind of talked about this earlier in the season as Dalton was coming on. Yeah, he's gotten teams to the playoffs 0-for-5. Hey man, I posted on Facebook, I posted on Twitter in the first quarter. I'm like, well, playoff Dalton has showed up finally.
Yeah. And you know what? I was
Dalton
like,
showed up.
And this was probably the best weapons he's ever had. Going. He had AJ Green and a few other receivers, but I mean, we had some mismatches yesterday. We could take advantage of in the first half, and
he missed a lot of throws. I mean, not just a lot of throws.
Horrible.
Here's my thing. For us to be down 20-6 at the half, that alone.
20-9. We got the late field goal.
Okay, we had this. Okay, 20-9. Let's say, and then I wrote it on Twitter. I said, "Is it me or Andy Dalton's off?" He was off.
Yeah,
he was off his A game. His throw, he looked like a rookie out there. The way he was throwing the ball, I'm like, he was overthrowing, underthrowing. He wasn't leading. He wasn't throwing the ball where it should be. It's just so much was going wrong for him. The challenge, as soon guys, I don't know if you noticed, but I did a video 8 hours later. That's how pissed I was.
I couldn't break it.
Yeah, I was just like, when you're sitting there, I was stunned for a few hours. I was just sitting on my couch and I'm like, did this really just happen? The only good thing about this whole ordeal is Philly tanked on purpose.
Right.
So even if we would have won, we weren't going to playoffs either way. But it would have gave us. We wouldn't be feeling the way we're feeling today because we could have said, okay, we fought, we left it in. We should have never left it into Philly's hands either way. That's how I feel.
Right. And here's what I was saying, y'all. And I said this in my video. I was not upset about the loss, surprisingly, because I kind of knew this was going to happen. And if you watch my channel, which, I mean, of course, all you guys do, but I've been saying Mike McCarthy has been planting these seeds all along, and eventually it's going to continue to blow up. Like, the one of the mind-boggling things for me is when Zeke scored the touchdown. It's a 5-point game. You take the extra point to make it a 4-point game. Why not go for the 2-point conversion and at least try to make it a 3-point game? And if you fail, then it's still a 5-point game. So he's supposed to score a touchdown whether it's 5 or 4. So a lot of these decisions when it comes to Mike McCarthy and Bluff, you mentioned it. Well, we all can see Zeke was clearly hurt. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. I was going to say, as far as that on the 2-point conversion, I think Ed Water wrapped it up perfectly with his tweet and said, well, I guess they had to defund the Mike McCarthy analytics department.
Analytics.
To fund the Kellen Moore extension.
Oh, that's my bad. That's my bad.
I don't know about you guys, but those analytics look really bad this season, man.
Those analytics. What computer is he using? But
I don't know what software he's using, man. That thing looked horrible this season.
Yeah, and like Bluff mentioned, we all could clearly see that Zeke was limited and he was hurt. I mean, there was points in the game. Like, I even tweeted, I was like, "Oh well, we lost Zeke for the game. I didn't think he was going to come back out there." And Zeke, granted to him, he put up a warrior effort, but why not lean more on Tony Pollard to give him more opportunities and more touches and get him out in space, especially after what we see in the 49ers game? So I
think it's because of the money issue. We're paying Zeke. Let Zeke go out there and
we're at the point, man. The game is on the line. Like you got to win the ball game. You have to win the ball game, and you have to put this team in a situation where they can win. And I feel like the team, from an aspect, granted, we did get down early 20-9, as you mentioned, Sid, but at least this team fought back and they showed some fight. But I'm sick and tired of this coaching staff and the decisions taking it from these players. Like,
I have a question for, and I know we're gonna get to it. What the hell? This is the part that pissed me off the most. 3rd down. Why would you make that throw?
You talking about the Andy Dalton at the end?
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say about that throw, Sid.
What play are you talking about?
The final play.
Oh, yeah.
That's off your back foot.
Yeah, man, he had nothing to
do. He lobbed it out there. Like, I'm like, where? Who was he throwing to?
But
I mean, he had 3 timeouts left too. So
right, 3 timeouts. But what I'll say is this: Andy Dalton was itching to throw an interception all game. It was bound to happen.
They just couldn't catch.
They couldn't catch it. He just like 2 or 3 of them.
I knew it, and I told someone this on Twitter. I was like, he's going to throw one. It's going to be costly. And he was just like, man, I got to get this INT out there. He was just floating out there. And I would expect this from a younger quarterback, like if it was Garrett Gilbert or maybe Ben DiNucci. But Andy Dalton, you got to know better. Just throw the ball in the dirt. Like, live to get to another down. But those costly mistakes, shouts out to my girl Rube. She mentioned the CeeDee Lamb drop. The CeeDee Lamb drop was big. Like, there's a lot of things that happen on the field. But when it comes to Mike McCarthy, it's just been too much, and all this has been adding on.
Yeah, I mean, dude, in those last 3 plays, right? Those last 3 offensive plays, terrible sack taken, CeeDee Lamb drop, interception.
What
a perfect way to end the season.
What do you guys think about the play calling? What do you think about the play calling when down there on the 1st down? After we got that 1st down inside the 10, do you think we should have ran the ball?
I mean, hindsight's 20/20 because you got the sack, right?
Right.
You know,
I mean,
I hear you.
I would have ran the ball there on first down.
Yeah.
He had 3 timeouts. There's a lot of time left.
Right.
I mean,
me personally, I just can't put the game in Andy Dalton's hands at that point because
exactly.
it was either going to be a sack or interception or strip fumble. You just kind of felt it.
Get the ball to part of Zeke's hand. Let's get a couple yards.
Yeah. Aside from like Andy Dalton, because he's not a rookie, do you think that there was a lot of rookie jitters playing into this? Because a lot of, like you said, CD Lamb dropping the ball. Like these are things that, do you think the rookie jitters came into play?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm just trying to see it from another side, another perspective.
CD just took his eye off the ball. He was looking to run before he caught the ball. I mean, he's excited, young kid, trying to make a big play in a big game. So.
And that's why I said you can't really just, on the coaching, but we should have ran it on first down. Yeah, you got the sack, but on the second down, it's a great play. I mean, Dalton delivers a dime to him. And he catches it. He might score right
He might score. He might be inside the 5.
He might score. So, again, it's hard to, yes, I think being able, because we've looked at the red zone inconsistencies, yes, is there something to be had there and talk about the play calling at times? Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was angry with that first down call. I was angry watching it live, especially after the sack. So
but there's a lot of plays we could talk about in the red zone over the year that the players just didn't execute. I
understand you there.
Yeah.
I agree with Steve right there.
Yeah. Yep. Dirt drops, because even think about it. I mean, Michael Gallup had a drop that was costly. Amari Cooper had one last week. Like it happens, and I know Bluff, me and you were talking to guys on Twitter that they were upset about CD's composure after their drop or whatnot. I mean, he knew it was his bad. Like he said, my bad. Like when bad things happen, you tend to smirk and laugh it off. Like, damn, I can't believe this happened, because CD was like, he had so much green available. He knew it. It's just one of those things. And CD is one of those guys. He's going to hold himself accountable to his mistakes. He'll probably admit that he made the mistake and should have caught that ball. I mean, we can all agree with that. But when we think about this season, y'all, and Nick, I'm going to start with you. How do we really summarize this season of what we saw this year?
Man, in a lot of ways, you don't want to call it a mulligan type season because of everything that happened, right? And off the rip, we heard about, they tried to install this defense via Zoom calls. We know we didn't have the OTAs, a lot of those kinds of things that affected us. No preseason. One of the things we were excited about before they canceled preseason, we're like, man, we got 5 games to really install this thing and see these rookies and whatnot. So you don't want to just say it's a mulligan type season, but in a lot of ways it was. In a good friend of mine who's a Packers fan, about 11, 12 weeks into it, goes, well, maybe Mike McCarthy should have took another year off. Right. and I said, yeah, I get that. I think the biggest thing for me was I didn't really care about the playoffs. I'm like, winning 3 and winning this 4th game straight, I thought was going to mean a lot of momentum carried into the offseason. I wasn't worried about the playoffs, but I was worried about this team finishing the season the right way. And it kind of seems a little bit to me, the ups and downs and whatever we had, and we had really good momentum. And I think we lost a piece of that, here in week 17. And you look around and you look at the Browns have a rookie head coach, and they were able to get the job done, get into the playoffs. So I don't want to, one side of the mulligan with all the injuries, I get that, but man, it's hard to really just say that whenever you got other rookie coaches that are doing pretty well in the league, and then we waited, right? We said, well, if Garrett would have been here, though, we wouldn't even won this many games because we would have lost all these players and whatnot. So we won because we won only 6 games this year versus maybe we would have only won 3 if we had Garrett here. And that's a terrible mind state to have.
Right.
I don't want to call it a mulligan. I'll call it a preseason season.
Okay.
I mean, if you just look at the rash of injuries we had a lot of guys out there who got some good experience. I hate it cost us a chance at the playoffs, and we lost however many games we lost. But hopefully this sets us up well for next year, because now we have a better idea, not as good as I would like, but we have a better idea of who we should keep, who we should let go, and who can progress through a season actually being on the field.
Right, that's a good point. Boy, Sid, how about you, man?
Listen, I saw a lot of positiveness. A lot of people were saying that the Dallas Cowboys sucked, and we struggled. We already. How many teams this year went out there with 4 QBs? How many?
Right.
None. Right. So we had our challenges ahead of us. We had a lot of rookies. I think that our team has learned a lot. I don't know about you guys, but I saw a lot of potential. I saw a lot of potential with the offense, And I saw a lot of potential with the defense, except for Jalen Smith, because he really pissed me off yesterday. But
we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that, I'm sure. He's one that he's got to go, but that's my opinion. So I think that going into this season, because it's around the corner, guys. We're 2021, so a few months away, and we got the draft, and then we'll be into camp and all that. So I think Mike McCarthy. I was on the Mike McCarthy train, not like you, Jay. I didn't jump off and jump back on. I was on the Mike McCarthy train the whole time.
I didn't jump back on. I just said we were cool.
You had a handshake.
You gotta give him some time, man.
Yeah. So I think Mike McCarthy will learn a lot. He made bad calls yesterday. He should have challenged that call, which is, we all know that should have happened. So I think that we have a lot of potential going into 2021, and a lot of players, I saw a lot of posts today, and they're hungry. They want that Super Bowl win. So I'm hoping that they take it seriously and we get to that.
John?
One of the most miserable seasons, man. One of the most miserable seasons I've seen as a Cowboys fan. I mean, we've gone through some stuff with the Dave Campo era, right? Those 5-11 seasons and Parcells earlier. But because we had so much potential and so much hype in the offseason, it sucked to see it go down the drain like that. I mean, injuries were a huge part of it. I mean, the O-line got shuffled around, losing Blake Jarwin, losing Joe McCoy early on there, Tyron Smith, Lale Collins, these guys, Zach Martin, everybody was banged up, losing Dak there in that game. I mean, just a miserable season, but we did see a lot of potential. I love Diggs. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowl type caliber cornerback in the future. CeeDee Lamb, the same with him on the offensive side of the ball. We have a lot of stuff to look forward to. We found Donovan Wilson at safety position. We did give him some reps, right? And he looked great, creating turnovers and big plays. So the future is bright. We do have young players. With Mike McCarthy, we've got to give him some time. We came into an offseason where the COVID, I understand everybody had to deal with it, but we came with a whole new defensive scheme, coordinator. Everybody was trying to gel together. It came together there towards the end a little bit. You saw it gel together, but just wasn't enough. And like I said, man, one of the most horrible seasons I've ever seen, just because of the potential we thought we had at the beginning of the season.
So, Flo, I think you're forgetting about 2015.
Well, I mean,
4-12.
Yeah, too. But this year, man, I just thought we had it all put together. That's all. We had it all. If you look at the roster, if you look at this roster before the season started, Matt, you would say, listen, this team's going to win we could battle for the NFC Championship in the championship game. We were stacked.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. And then so you look at, speaking of this defense, we almost gave up 500 points, guys. 500. Right. Rob Marinelli the last year was to give up underneath 400, and the
worst
most
in team history.
Right, and the thing that I posted, I forgot who tweeted it. I posted in the Stargame group, which since last year we are 14-2 and we scored 30 points. We have 0 wins if this offense has not scored 30 points. Right. That is a huge problem. We're the only team in the league over the last 2 seasons that have 0 wins whenever this offense has scored 30 points. Now, hey, look, I am the CEO of the SEO, the Scourge North offense, but defense, I need, now positives, right? We're talking about some positives. Hey, they found a way to get some turnovers at the end of the season, right?
Right.
And whatnot. But my goodness, we got to find a stop the bleeding somewhere else other than just turnovers.
Nick, I'm glad you brought that up, man. I'm glad you brought that up because that's always been a problem in Dallas, that defense, right? We've always had our defense has always been suspect. And for some reason, we don't address it. We don't get the dogs in here to go ahead and
let me tell you why. Because you got to be strong down the middle of the defense.
Yes.
You haven't had a defensive tackle.
We've been okay at
linebacker and no safeties. Right. It's simple.
It's weak. You look at these teams. Look at Pittsburgh. Look at Baltimore. These guys have players all over that defense. I mean,
look at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chris Jones, the defensive tackle.
Tyrann Mathieu up there back there.
Couple of good middle linebackers, both of them from Cowboys. Wilson and
Wilson. Yep.
And then you got Matthews, and they drafted Juan Thornhill on the back end. They're strong down the middle of that defense. Yeah, and like I said, we don't have to have an all-world defense. If we can get strong down the middle of this defense, this offense is proven. Now that we're bringing Kellen Moore back, we got the 3-headed monster wide receiver. You got the 2 running backs that you can go out here and be prolific. Defense, just hold them to 20.
A couple stops, man. That's
just hold them to 22.
We have the offense. We definitely
have Mike Nolan back next year, guys.
No.
He'll be in house. He'll be in house.
He'll be in house. He'll
probably be in house. He won't be this coordinator.
Yeah. So when I think about this season, for me personally, It was unexpected because, like Mendoza just said, we have so much potential with this team. To be honest with you guys, like looking at the roster, I was thinking Super Bowl. Like that's the kind of mindset I have when I talk about the potential of this team. But what concerned me the most, and this is pre-injury, pre-week 5, is that the same issues that we had from the Jason Garrett era really just carried over into Mike McCarthy, and I really didn't see much of a difference. I mean, you think about, turnovers, not being able to stop the run, lack of accountability with this team, the personnel issues, decision making, like everything was just a reenactment of what we went through. And I thought, honestly, when I thought we were going to switch to Mike McCarthy, we were going to take a leap as far as coaching is concerned. I thought there would be more accountability. I thought there would be more, I never would have thought, if you would tell me this back in June or July, that Mike McCarthy be making these type of decisions when it comes to Dallas Cowboys. I just thought that would be off the board. I was like, okay, we got Mike McCarthy. We're not going to have to worry about that, right?
Yeah. So that's what we were sold on, right? Like, hey, we were 8-8, looking at this roster, everything else, and we're going to bring in this guy, Super Bowl winning coach, to get us over the hump. And here we are, still battling uphill.
Right. We're going to work on the fundamentals, protecting the ball, and all these.
Who would have thought that we would have had Who would have thought we would have had a worse record with Mike McCarthy?
Well, I mean, I would give Mike McCarthy the benefit of the doubt due to injuries.
I would too, man. Look, our offensive line was torn up, man.
I felt like with the injuries that the team was still solid. Now, my concern is if we would have had Dak Prescott and maybe a healthy line, would we be the Kansas City Chiefs and just dominating, running through the NFC? No, I feel like we would have still kind of been a middle of the road team, taking our lumps here and there.
We struggled in the beginning.
We would have definitely won the East. We would have definitely won the East.
The same team that we were last year, we would have probably been this year, even if we would have had Dak Prescott. I mean, I feel like that Cardinals game, we probably want to beat the Cardinals because, like Nick just said, we have to be Team 40 Burgers, not to win the game, just to be in the game. Like, to make it a competitive game, we really have to put up 40. That's uncalled for when it comes to NFL football with the NFL team.
Only last time we had a defense. 2007 was last time we had a real good defense to carry the offense a little bit.
Right. And hopefully this offseason, we'll talk about that here in a second. I need to see defense finally being a focus for this team, not just getting a few guys here and plugging a few pieces. It really has to be a point of emphasis, just like the offense was for so many years. It really does come down to this defense having to be a point of emphasis. Like I said, we don't have to be a top 10 defense, top 5 defense. Meet me in the middle of the road. Be a top 15 defense, but we're going to have to get the personnel right because we're going to lose a lot of guys, which we're going to talk about here in a second. We got to make sure that Mike McCarthy and whoever the new defensive coordinator, knock on wood that we get a new one, will be
I think we all want a new one.
Yeah. So speaking of the defense, so Jalen Smith used to be a hot topic. Man. And John, I know he's a hot topic button for you, man. He came out with some comments, people about questioning will he return next year. Now, I personally, I'll get this out. I'll say Jalen Smith will return next year. He will be on the roster because it's just not worth it to give up. I mean, I think we would say about $400,000, give or take. Is it really worth it to get rid of him? I doubt that. But what is your take on Jalen Smith? And John, I'll let you go first, man, because I know this is your guy.
We saw it yesterday on that fumble when he's celebrating. Diggs is 100-something pounds jumping in the pile. My God, man, that guy just pissed me off this entire season. Just yes, what he led the team in tackles.
Yeah,
but most of them were after 5-10 yards after the running back's gone down the field.
Hey, he was second in the league in tackles too.
But as Fan Talk said the other day, how many of those are for loss?
Right.
Listen, he's a liability in pass coverage. He's horrible in pass coverage.
Yeah.
He cannot match up with anyone. About him, he's all over the place, though. Like, he's always coming out to make a play. He may not be the best, but for some reason, he's always somewhere.
Before Jalen got paid, he was a solid player. We can all agree that we can watch back and watch him.
You can say that about D-Law. You can say that about Zeke.
Well, we're talking about Jalen. Let's stay on Jalen. Jalen was a good player, and that's the reason he got paid. And I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Bluff,
what was with that sleeve thing? What was with that? Please, explain that to me.
That was the most frustrating part for me yesterday was the one T-shirt sleeve. It wasn't just the arm sleeve. It was a T-shirt. And when he was doing the huffing and puffing on the sideline, I thought the guy ripped his sleeve off. You know, I was like, "Where's your other sleeve, bro?" Like, I thought you had a T-shirt. That's like Zeke wearing a turtleneck. It's a crop top.
Doing the swipe on 3rd and 18. He makes it.
That's the swipe arm. That's the swipe arm.
Oh, the swiper. I see. I didn't think about it,
Yeah.
man. That's too deep, man.
Jalen's making tackles on touchdowns, and he's celebrating the swipe after somebody scores a touchdown.
Yep.
Big tackle.
Right. So, Bluff, let me hear you get your thoughts, man, on Jalen Smith and how does the Cowboys move forward with them?
Well, I've always been a fan of Jalen, and I
Right.
still think he's a good player. Like SoFlo said, he cannot cover. He does not trust himself laterally, and it hurts me that our coordinators don't see that and put him in the best positions to do what his strengths are. For the life of me, I don't know why when we're in nickel, he's the cover linebacker.
He should be blitzing.
Right.
When we're in dime, he's the linebacker out there.
Right.
That makes no sense to me. And Francis Bernard, I always say this, best cover linebacker in the league in college last year.
Yeah.
Right.
He looks like a safety out there, and he doesn't touch the field.
Right.
So I feel like that's one problem. The second problem is he plays too much.
Right.
We don't need Jalen playing 100% of the snaps. Him,
Right.
Woods are the only ones that play 100%.
Right.
Let's take him down to a little bit better than what you would see at a strong Sam linebacker, 70, 80%. And then we'll get to see Jalen use his strengths more. Those two things just kill me with him.
Yeah, I thought they would use him more in blitz packages and rushing the passer, but they'll put him in coverage. It just doesn't make any sense. So part of it, yes. Part of it is to blame this for the scheme. Yes, I do.
He shouldn't be the dime linebacker.
Right,
There's
exactly.
no excuse for that.
Right.
Oh, we got it. We got our guy Spoonie.
Oh, man.
He's on his phone. You switched over to your cell phone.
Yeah,
It's clear now.
I had to go to the phone part.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. See, let me get your take on Jalen Smith, man.
Listen, like you guys are saying, Jalen Smith is a good player. And John, I get it. But my argument is all players do what he did. Once they get paid, they take a slump. It is what it is. I don't know why. And I keep saying that they need to put, I know they have their initiatives, but they need to do a bit more to make these guys be hungry still after they get paid. Jalen Smith is the type of guy, once somebody gets past him, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the way he runs,
it's just that leg injury he had, that tear at Notre Dame that he just can never see him play.
I mean, and some of this too. Look, again, I think not being able to be in house and train with your people the right way.
Yeah,
I think that hurt Jalen, and he lost some of his speed because he wasn't able to train within the building the right way due to COVID. I think some of that's it. I think too on the coverage side, they was talking about. I think they believe he can still be good in zone because they typically put him in a zone.
They did.
And they did, but it's just not working for him right now. Maybe he's a little in between his ears or whatnot. I'm with you, Tuck. There's no way that I think that Jalen's leaving here. You're already thin at linebacker, and there's ways for Jalen to be successful within this defense. Hopefully, the next coordinator can figure that out and put him in a position. Because again, I don't care what player you are, you got to be put in a position to win. Right? You have to be. Yeah. And if you're going to consistently if we all can sit here from our couches, right, and everybody in the chat can see it, and we all know that Jalen Smith can't cover, real quick, what do you think every single offensive coordinator going into the game knows?
Oh, yeah.
Jalen Smith, what are we going to do? Let's get our tight end, and let's go ahead and put him behind and get him right behind Jalen. Easy dink and dunk for us all day long.
That was first play of the game, Jason.
That's on Mike McCarthy, too. Look, I'm not going to just put that on Nolan.
Right.
Mike McCarthy, you're the CEO. You're the walk around. You ain't calling plays. You got to make that call and say, hey, man, we got to do something with Jalen to get him off here. Francis Bernard, I'm right with you, Bluff. I banged the table right along with you. Why is he not out here in coverage more? Hey, even better yet, in a passing situation, man, look, drop a safety down in there. Drop one of these safeties that can't really cover deep, but at least they'll give you enough speed where they can carry a tight end on the other side of a linebacker.
Yep.
Right.
I agree with what Rush is saying. Jalen is lost without LVE. And that's true.
I don't think that's the case because he played last year without LVE. So, Spoon, let me get your take, man. Shout out to my guy Spoon, man. We got my guy right, man. Spoonie, man. Definitely check him out. Star Gang member, man. Tag team champ.
Gang.
What's your thoughts on Jalen Smith, bro?
Well, here's the thing. I love Jalen Smith's story. I'm a big fan of Notre Dame. And he came a long way. The only thing I've always questioned was his celebrations. Sometimes he overdoes it. and things like that. But I do understand that we didn't have the proper offseason. He needs definitely a defensive coordinator to come in and put him in the right situations. Nobody can question his ethics. Listen, the guy has a high motor. He keeps going. If you was to cut him, you're very thin at linebacker. Francis Bernard, he came in last year from Utah. I like him a lot. End of the day, he's not experienced yet. He needs time. We don't know what's his future like. He just got here. LVE is always injured, so Jalen's always been the most reliable guy on the field. But there are questions on how he plays and things like that. But I think he can get fixed up with the right coach coming in on the defensive side, and it can tune that a little bit better. And here's another thing: he has a nice contract, a nice friendly deal with Dallas. I wouldn't rush to get rid of that. I really wouldn't.
Right. Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off what Spoon said. So here's my take on Jalen Smith, and I was going to say this on Twitter, but I was going to save it for the show. Can't give y'all everything. But I feel like with Jalen Smith, a lot of Cowboys fans, self-included, we fell in love with the story, right? Yeah, we all know the story, how he got interested at Notre Dame. And so I feel like when it comes to Cowboys Nation, and also Jalen Smith, because we're seeing all the celebrations and whatnot, as you guys mentioned, like he's just out there doing way too much. But I feel like from Jalen's perspective, he's just happy to be playing football again, right? And so that's why you see him just, out there like a little kid in the candy store. But eventually that story has to fade, and we have to get back to reality and what are you actually doing for this team? And I feel like we're now at that crossroads. So when we sit back and watch, we can see he's a step behind, how he can't cover running backs out of the backfield. We see when he's on a spy with the mobile quarterback, he can't keep up, and different things like that, and him being out of position, reading the run grab. So I'm not sure, as Spoon said, like, I think Jalen Smith has the effort, the energy's there, the talent is there, but I don't feel like athletically it's there from what we've seen in the past, and it's lacking behind now. And now, if it's not between the ears and you're lacking,
let me ask you.
He can't run laterally, man. He can't run sideline to sideline.
Yeah, let me ask you this question: do you think he's doing enough in the rooms during game planning and whatnot, and in the books enough? Do you think he's preparing enough during the week?
No, he was having a problem with the scheme early on. Remember, he came out and said that it was too complex. Like what?
Because we've all seen it. I mean, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, guys who relied so long off their athleticism, they didn't really have to have it all up here. And I feel like with Jalen, that's what he's thinking, that he's moving a lot faster than what he's out there playing at. Like I can see it. Like when I see that running back come out the backfield, I'm like, Jalen's not going to get there. I see that tight end running the post route. Jalen's not going to get there, bro. So what are you doing? And so that's why, I feel like Jalen is still thinking he's the athletic, linebacker that we saw at Notre Dame. He's not that anymore. So he's really going to have to sit down this offseason and crunch the fundamentals of the game and really know what's going on there. Because I think earlier on, also, Mike Nolan and the staff, they tried to pass on additional responsibilities to Jalen Smith that he obviously wasn't prepared for, because he was supposed to have been the Mike linebacker possibly and calling the plays when Van Der Esch is out. And, but he's confused. So how are you going to tell me what my role is when you're confused? And so, I think it's more cerebral with Jalen Smith, but also athletically, he's starting to lag behind a little bit. So I don't think the Cowboys move on from him, but you have to give someone else a shot.
And I think, the reason I wanted to bring up and ask you that question, one of the things that I caught from Sounds of the Field whenever we played last week, whenever Sean Lee gave the big speech and everything on the sideline, there's also a clip where Sean Lee's talking to Jalen and said, "Hey, if you're wondering or you're in doubt, just call Dallas. Just call Dallas."
I saw that.
So he was telling him, "Hey, if you're confused, or you don't really know, just go with Dallas. Just go with Dallas." Right. So to me, automatically that kind of makes me think, okay, is he doing enough in the film room and whatnot to know? Because even at that point, Sean Lee's having to tell him, "Hey, just don't worry about it." Even Sean Lee's literally, here we are at that point, week 16. Sean Lee on the sideline is in his ear saying, "Keep it simple. Keep it simple for yourself. And don't overthink it."
Let me ask you about that, because there's been this rumor flying around that the linebackers are now in charge of calling the defense. It wasn't really Mike Nolan. So, I mean, that sounds like, according to what the reaction was with Sean Lee, that maybe that the linebackers are now kind of calling shots out there, and Mike Nolan's trying to stand in the background, because as you said, Nix, it shouldn't have gotten to the game before you're even having that conversation. This should have been something that's discussed on Tuesday in week 2, so I feel like it's cerebral with Jalen Smith, but granted, the effort's always there. He gives max effort. That's why you see the tackles and stuff that we see. But as far as playing his position, man, I just don't see it. And I wouldn't be opposed to the Dallas Cowboys actually moving on and giving someone else a shot.
Parsons, Penn State.
That's
That's my boy right there.
My guy right there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it, man.
So,
That's
yeah.
it.
I'm
You
with
gotta
you,
see him
Flo.
play. See him play. Nick,
I'm
you seen
with
him play?
Flo.
I don't think he's going to make it to 10 is the problem.
Oh, okay. I can see that. I can see him kill the combine or the workouts. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make it to 10.
I don't think so.
I do have a
That's Team
linebacker.
Parsons. That's Team Parsons.
That's why we were
that way.
Team Tank.
And
Team
then-
Tank.
but then me, Nix, and Spoon, we got some toys, man.
We got yeah.
And I said I wasn't going to do no draft, talk on the show until the season was over. But damn it, I did a few mocks,
Yeah.
and every time that
Don't
boy
say
from
it.
Florida landed right to me. Like
I am team. You want to fix your red zone? Go get Pitts.
Oh God.
You want to
Yo.
fix your red zone? Go get Pitts.
I'm not gonna
Look,
lie, man.
this-
I'm familiar with him. I'm in Florida. I'm familiar
Yeah.
with that guy, man. A beast.
Yeah,
Like
You
total
wanna-
beast.
yeah. Again,
Like mismatch. Like there's
Yeah.
no linebackers and safeties gonna
there's
match up with
nobody.
Pitts, man.
Exactly. If you want to fix your red zone, you go get Pitts at number 10. And here's the thing. And the reason I'm saying this is, hey, we got some free agency work that we can do to help this defense, obviously. And then too, when we look at this draft, as we're getting into it, there's not a Chase Young here, guys.
No.
There's not this, we go get this guy on defense. It completely changes it. And you still going to have the extra thirds, the extra fourths with these compensatory picks where you can be fluid in these first 3 rounds to move up and down and go get you some defensive guys that are going to be there.
I hear what you're saying, but it's Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and Blake Jarwin and Schultz.
Well,
The Pitts comes up on that board. Hey, we're okay.
yeah,
Let's go
well,
get,
you know, your best ability is availability. As much as I love Jarwin, as much as I've banged the table for
Schultz.
Jarwin, we just haven't seen him come along. And look,
Right.
Schultz is a great
Schultz came up
story.
strong. Yep.
Schultz has been a great story. Schultz isn't Pitts though. And no, and look,
not
look,
even close.
and give a nod to this. We'll give a nod here to the Joneses. Well, you had Amari, you just signed the $20 million, right? Oh, you got this number 2 over here, Michael Gallup.
They did get CD.
But here's CD Lamb. Let's go. Oh, and who
Yeah.
do we just re-sign to be the coach in waiting on? The offensive coordinator. Here's another toy to make us look
Toys.
like
Yeah.
we kept the right guy in house.
Yeah.
Toys.
No, I would love Pitts. I would love Pitts. We'd score 40 easily, but the defense would give up 40 easily also. The defense would get
We
wrecked.
become the Houston Rockets of the NFL, man.
And look, in free
Man.
agency, right? The cap room, right? It's supposedly dropping, right? We've got to pay Dak.
I think it's going to stay up. I think
Yeah,
everybody's saying it's
I know everybody says
I agree.
I thought it was
it's
going
gonna
to
be
go
hard
down,
to
but
acquire defensive players. I think the only real shot we have is going to be through the draft to acquire a player that could come in and start. We could maybe get 1 or 2 decent players in free agency, but I think the best way for us to fix his defense is going to be through this draft. So that's all I'm saying. I don't mind Pitts,
yeah.
but I would love a defensive player.
So we're gonna go to round table, man, because we're gonna
All
fix this Cowboys team, man. But first, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. So shouts out to Mo, shouts out to Ruth, Mendoza, Robert, Uba, like moving the chain. Shouts out to everyone who's showing support, man. Hit that like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. So we mentioned what happened this season. It's past. It's done. It's done. So we're gonna go around here and we're gonna fix this thing quickly. Because we can go all night in this format. You guys know how y'all know how we do, but I'm gonna keep you on a work night. So we're gonna go around. My guy Bluff, that way. What are you doing to automatically fix the issues that we've had this season? I give you your take, man.
You know what? I want to go first, but I've heard my guy Nick's with his 5-point plan.
Oh, yeah, all right, Nick.
Oh, man, don't get him started.
We got to get the 5-point plan first. We got to get that.
Okay.
Super 5-point plan.
The 5-point plan has had to change though now. From the time from the time of its invention, it had to change. But there's some things that are still going to stay intact within the 5-point plan.
Yeah.
One, first and foremost, you go re-sign Rain Dakota Prescott. That's it. Period, point blank. Don't play around with it. Don't say, oh, we don't know. We'll tag him. We're going to hide behind the tag and free agency. Don't do that. Tag him, get the money up, because you already know the first year, the money's not going to cost you a whole lot for his contract. That's going to come in late down the line. That's when this salary cap's going to really jump with the new TV deal anyways. So you'll have money to go get people. First and foremost, this isn't a great safety draft. This isn't really a great defensive tackle draft. So what do? Make a splash. You haven't the biggest free agent that you've brought into this thing. What? Brandon Carr? How long ago was that?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your mind up. Get one of these defensive tackles, get one of these safeties. For me, point blank, I'm going to go get Justin Simmons. I'm bringing Justin Simmons. I'm putting him right next to Donovan Wilson, and I feel right then and there, the middle of my defense on the back end is good to go. Okay, that's where I'm at. Now, we already hear about Joe McCoy coming back in this thing. Right? Now we can go ahead. Now there's a guy that we just played against the Giants, Spoonie. Oh, Dalvin Tomlinson, right?
Yep.
Big nasty. Not going to cost you a lot because they got to worry about keeping a couple of other guys on that defensive line, mainly Williams, right? If you can procure you a guy like that, they're going to pay Dak. Kellen Moore doesn't come back if they're not paying Dak. He's going to Boise State.
Yeah.
So at that point, you fix the middle a little bit. Now you freed yourself up to go ahead. And I'm not saying you shouldn't add more to that within the draft, as Joe said, because we're going to need depth there because we're going to lose about 8 guys. There's 8 potential losses on this defense coming up. But I'm going there first and foremost, and then I'm not going to be lazy in the draft, guys. Right. I'm just not. I'm moving. Look, if we're going to end up in the first 4 rounds, right, and we're going to have then there's 6 picks, man, I'm coming up the board for the guys to make the impact on this defense that we can go get. Maybe a guy out of Florida State.
And let me stop you there, Nick. So granted, it's just a mock simulator.
Oh, yeah.
And, it's fantasy. But the Tennessee Titans have an interesting first-round pick. And every time I offered my trade for my second and one of those compensation thirds, they took it.
Okay.
So it was a way for me to jump back in that first round. But we'll get back.
Yeah, and that's hey, and look, I want to see Steven. Look, one thing I will say about Steven, he's kind of ignored the free agency side of things. Right. He's done really well, though, right? He's done really well with the trade side, right? Where you talk about Amari, or they went and traded for Robert Quinn, right? And those things have kind of paid off. Yeah. We'll go back and double dip in there and go after it again. Maybe if the rumors are true, Tuck, Quentin Williams might be available. Okay, but Quentin Williams is available. Maybe you pick up that phone and call and see what you can do to go get a Quentin Williams. But they have to get with the way the thing is set up right now, they have to get creative in free agency and in this draft to get this defense turned around in 1 year. And of course, the first thing they got to figure out, are we a 4-man front or are we a 3-man front? Not this wishy-washy, we're going to be this, multiple, we're going to bring in Poe and Gerald and kind of do these things. And all of a sudden, 2-3 weeks into it, well, never mind, we're just going to kind of go back, baseline 4-man front, kind of rotate, do things. I wanted to have a clear-cut plan out the gate, getting Dak done. And like Spoonie said, maybe we steal some headlines during the Super Bowl, and that's when Dak gets signed. I don't know. But clear cut, be precise, and go attack this thing from the top down.
Yeah. Man, I should let you go first. I don't remember you saying the 3-man, 4-man front thing.
Yeah, because we got to figure that. That's the one thing we got to figure out.
We're paying D-Law a lot of money to play in a 4-3. He can't play in the 3-4. That's not his strength.
I agreed. That was stupid out of the gate. Absolutely.
Horrible.
All right. So on offense, we have a lot of depth on the offensive line. As much as people hate to admit it, we're going to get 2 tackles back.
Yep.
The guys who played this year, they were bad at times, but they showed me enough to say if I needed them for 3 or 4 games, we could get by with it.
Right.
Then we still got McGovern. We got Cam Irvin coming back. We got a lot of depth. So let's see if there's a piece on the offensive line we could possibly trade away to get anything for, because we're going to lose it. And I'm really looking at Connor Williams because the contract, the good year, and I don't think we're going to be able to re-sign him. So I'm seeing what we can get there. On offense, everything else I would say is pretty good. But then we go to defense. Like Nick said, number 1, let's find our identity. Are we going to be a 3-4? Are we going to be a 4-3? Once we figure that out, then we can figure out the pieces we need. One piece we definitely need, like Nick said, we got to be strong at the middle. We have a bunch of 3 techs and 5 techs. We need a nose.
One.
I got a pet cat, man.
We need a new. I'm with you on Sheldon.
A fat, nasty, big fat nat. Not gonna do nothing splashy. Just move.
Is Gallimore too small to play that 1 tech, isn't he?
Yes.
He can't help it. He came on strong, but he can't play.
He can't do it. And I think he'll flourish as a 3 anyways.
Yeah. He's
the more we saw from him, and you're gonna get Tristan Hill back. If you get a big nasty next to that rotation with Hill and Gallimore, you might be cooking with a little bit of Crisco.
And me and Jay we had a lot of we talked a lot about Tristan Hill in the offseason. We were excited for him this season. He came on strong at the beginning of the season. That injury just messed it up.
Yeah, he did. I like Tristan Hill, but he's still not a 1 tech, man.
No, he's not.
Think that what Poe was supposed to have been is that big fast nose tackle.
That run stopper,
he wasn't. So, like I said, my pet cat is out of LSU, but we'll get there. Go ahead,
we need a nose tackle. we need at least one more linebacker.
Yeah.
We need a safety, and we need a corner. So I'm looking at the draft and free agency, wherever you want to go to get those, that's where you go get them at. The draft is deep at corners from round 1 to 4.
Yep.
Right.
The draft is deep at big fat D tackles from rounds 2 to 4. So if we wanted to, we can go there and get those guys.
Right.
Linebacker looks good in the first 2 or 3 rounds. And how many picks we got in the first 4 rounds, Nick? You said 7?
We got 1, 2, 6, 4, 6. Yeah,
6. We got 6 picks within those first 4 rounds. I know people don't like to hear us say go offense, but with that many picks in the first 4 rounds, knowing where the strength of the draft is, we could get an offensive guy anywhere in there and still load up on defensive guys and get everything we need.
Right.
Pigs, this man.
Pitts.
Or.
Okay.
You not to say Chase, are you?
He just did.
Chase, man. I'm toys, man. I'm team toys, man. If I get a toy, man.
And that's the
Everybody loves
reason
toys, man.
I don't have a problem with the offensive guy first round because I'm looking at the draft and I see rounds 2 through 4, all of our needs. That's the meat of the draft.
Yep.
Right.
Agreed.
So I mean that's pretty much.
Guys, you can't even argue like what Nick's just said and what Bluff City just said. Just roll with that.
That's
Listen, if Shaw's didn't come on as strong and I knew that we had 2 good tight ends, I would definitely be all in for Pitts. If we had a problem at tight end there, I'd definitely be all in for Pitts. But we got to address his defense. We've got Jordan Lewis might not be back, Cheeto might not be back, Woods might not be back. We've got to get some guys in that secondary because we're going to be hurt.
Yeah. Our secondary is where
Cheeto might get paid somewhere, right?
But guys, you guys realize something? We're right back where we were last year because we had the same issue going into this season.
Sertan looks good there. My guy is Parsons. We need a linebacker, man. LVE is not shown to be consistent on the field. Injury-wise, always injured. Right. We know we've gotten Jalen. Is Joe Thomas still on the roster back there somewhere? I mean, we do have Gifford, but Parsons will come in here and give us immediate production at linebacker spot, man. That guy can play. So that would be my guy in the first round.
So far, would you move up? Would you move up? Would you move up SoFlo, say from 10 to 6 for Parsons?
Yeah, I would. I would. I do like Parsons, man. I like him.
I like him.
I'm just saying. I believe he's a type of impact player that could change.
Linebacker, you go from 10 to 6 for linebacker. You said he wants to stay there.
My guy John trying to get Jalen Smith up out of there.
Get him out, man. I'm tired of these linebackers, man. I'm tired of these dudes.
Yeah,
I got a linebacker. Well, here's my plan. Number one, since we are picking in the top 10, we pick number 10 right now. All the speculations about other quarterbacks. You see this? This guy right here, this guy Trevor Lawrence, it's forgotten.
Okay,
it's done. It's done. He's out. Number one thing we got to go out and do is sign Dak Prescott. Number one thing.
Right. Yes,
as far as the draft at number 10, I like the idea of either trading for Courtney Williams from the New York Jets. But if not, we can stay in the first round. Let's say we get a Kyle Pitts, or let's just say we get a cornerback in either Jason Horn out of South Carolina or Farley. I'm not so high in Sertan. In the second round, we mentioned the linebackers. Well, I have a linebacker. I have a pet cat that I really, really like. His name is Zaven Collins.
Zaven Collins.
The Swiss Army knife linebacker, 6'4", 260 pounds. Listen, when I hear that height, you know, it reminds me of the guy for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's his name again?
What, Dupree?
Kendrick? Oh. No, Kendrick. Oh, I forgot his name. I'm going to get his name later. But anyhow, he's a big boy, Swiss Army knife linebacker, very athletic. He can play the mic. He can play the outside. That's my guy. Now, for the third round.
And we've scouted Tulsa, Spoon. Hey, Spoon, you might be onto something because we know we've had scouts down at Tulsa because we went and got Robinson last year. So I'm sure he's definitely on their radar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here's another thing. Now, we mentioned the big boys. Like, in the NFC East in Washington, besides Sweat and besides Chase Young, they got the Bama brothers right there in that middle of the line, right? Well,
Allen,
you wanted some white techniques, right? Well, you want some big boys. Well, there's a guy named Christian Barmore out of Alabama who's rising by almost everybody's ball. His partner, Philip Mathis, another good guy. I love Martin Wilson out of Florida State. I'm sure he's going to be there. Oh, we go to LSU and we get a Tyler Shine. out of LSU, another big boy. So we had a lot of, like just like Bluff was saying, there's a lot of one technique defensive tackles that we could get in the later rounds. Cornerback,
Right.
listen, I don't care about height as much. I really don't. If we don't address that in the first round, I want to go to Florida State and get my guy Asante Samuels Jr.
Yeah.
I really like him a lot. Listen, when I think about height, and people want to say, well, we want a guy who's 6'2", 6'3". Well, a guy named Adam Glenn was doing pretty well with the New York Jets, shutting guy like Plaxico Burress down. It's about technique. A guy like Asante Samuel, he's a bloodline from his father. His father was a very good, solid cornerback. This is what we need. We need ballers. We need dogs out there. If we can take care of those needs right there in the middle of the field, we can take care of that. Great. As far as safety, BJ hit it. There's not enough. There's no Jamal Adams in this class. There's not a Minka in this class for first round. But you have the guys there. If they go to the right team, they can flourish. Okay. I love Nasruddin out of Florida State. I think he's too.
Hell yeah.
I
like
like
my hopes up, Spoon. You know we don't take no no's, man. You know we don't take no no's besides Marquez White.
Marquez White, Pat Watkins.
I will say this though, my favorite safety is from Syracuse, Andre Cisco. He got hurt last year, but that's the guy I want. Or Pittsburgh, Pavis Ford. So another guy, Morgan Wade from TSU. TCU, excuse me, TCU. Yeah, he's rising on everybody's board. So you have some solid guys in this draft that could definitely help out this football team. But like I said, it starts off with Dak Prescott, and once you get him going, go to free agency, we'll see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah. I agree with everybody, man. I think first and foremost, we all can agree is signing Dak Prescott early.
How quickly you guys think the Dak is going to get signed?
That's the $1 million question.
Right.
That's the $1 million question.
He still got his same agent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might go on. That might go on for a minute, man. That might end soon.
Well, so I'm gonna play Bluff's game over and under before draft or after draft for Dak Prescott to be signed.
I'm hoping before.
I mean, forget the draft. I want to see it done before free agency.
I'm
not trying to hide, because if you don't get him signed before the draft, that means you got him on the tag.
Yeah, right.
Ugh, no tag. Get the tag out of here.
We can't have that, man. We don't have the space
that
for
word
that.
should not even be anywhere near the negotiations. It's sign me, or I don't want to even say the word, but it's sign me.
A lot of it's gonna dictate what happens with our own players, right?
Yeah.
Are we gonna let Cheeto go? Are we gonna let Jordan Lewis go? Xavier Woods? That's all gonna dictate what we do in that first round of that draft. I mean, if we lock up Cheeto, we don't need a corner.
I see Cheeto coming back. Like I said, Cheeto his value's not that high, low value. I see Cheeto coming back, which I'm okay. I
honestly don't mind Cheeto and Diggs on the outside.
I don't mind Cheeto. I'm fully with Spoon. If you can get my guy Asante Samuel Jr., but I am not getting my hopes up to draft a Noel. I've been there, done that. So it is what it is. I'll just act surprised, but I think he would be a great Jordan Lewis replacement, especially in that nickel corner slot. So for me personally, when it comes to the draft, like I said, if I'm not going with toys, I think I'm a little bit opposite of you guys. Like, I do like Farley. I like the athleticism. I'm still up in the air with opt-out guys, man, to be honest with you. Like, these opt-out guys and injury history, I just see something bad happen with these opt-out guys. So I'm more of a Surtain type of guy. Like I said, if you can get me a low budget, pretty much Trayvon Diggs, I'm perfectly fine with that, and I feel like that's what Surtain's pretty much going to be, and he's going to be partnering in with the guy that he's already played with at Alabama, so he'll be, acclimated to being back there in that secondary.
Right.
Now, when it comes to linebacker, you can get you possibly a Nick Bolton, maybe late first round.
Yeah, he's starting to slide up the board. Yeah, he's starting to slide. He was a second round pick. He's definitely starting to slide up into that first round.
Yeah, so you might have to jump back in. And that's what I've been doing on these mock drafts. Damn it, me and Yacht Jerry been jumping back in the first round. They're going to get that linebacker, but I do like Collins. But like I said, man, give me one of those fat nasties. Even if it's Marvin Wilson, I'm perfectly fine with that, man. But I just don't think that Marvin Wilson is going to be a one tech when it comes to the NFL position,
I agree.
which we desperately need. And plus with Marv, man, he's up here some games, and then some games you're looking like, where the hell is he, man? So I just need a fat, nasty run stopper in the middle. So whether it's Bazemore from Alabama or my guy from LSU, I'm definitely with that, man. But I think when it comes to the secondary, especially the safety position, I would like you said, Knicks, attacking the free agency. Go get Justin Simmons, man. You got to pay to play. Just go out there. You got Dak in office. You got Todd France in office. Sign Dak and then look over Todd France. Okay, so how much we talking for Justin? Let's just do that because I'd rather add a quality guy back there with Donovan Wilson versus putting a rookie and kind of getting the unexpected
results. Right.
That's a tandem win. That's a safety tandem win.
And the thing is, like, again, follow the breadcrumbs. We know in-house they need something.
Right.
We know because Steven tried for Minka. He tried not once but twice for Jamal. So we know in-house that they understand they need a safety. Yeah. Well, dadgummit, you've tried these different trades and different things, and you couldn't get it done. So at the end of the day, just go pull the trigger. There's a Neil from Atlanta coming out, right? You got the Anthony Harris from Minnesota. I mean, there's some names out here. But again, if you put Justin Simmons with Donovan Wilson, man, I think that's a good magical run you can have there for 3 years at the safety position, and you can kind of figure some things out.
Right. So think of it as this. Go ahead.
Because I've been hearing a lot of safety talk, and everybody's going back and forth between free and strong. If you had to choose a spot for Wilson, which determines where you go, would you rather have him at the free or the strong?
That's why I picked Simmons. I want him at the strong.
Okay.
Not that I don't think Wilson cannot absolutely unequivocally not play free. I think Wilson at his best
down in the box,
strong, down in the box, blitzing.
He can play down there, man.
He can cover. He can cover some tight ends for you stuff, but I don't think he's that ultimate center fielder range that ball hawk that Justin Simmons will bring to the table.
Keeping Wilson down in the box is one of his strengths, man. He can tackle. You can see the burst he's got in the backfield. He can play.
Yeah, I agree. I can see like so think about it like this, right? So you could have a Justin Simmons in free agency, Donovan Wilson. You could have Cheeto Awuzie, Trayvon Diggs, and Asante Samuel as your three corners, and then also Anthony Brown, and then maybe Leighton Vander Esch, Xavion Collins at linebacker, or Nick Bolton, and then you have Randy Gregory, DeMarcus Lawrence, Tristan Hill, Neville Gallimore, and one of those fat, nasty one-techs. I feel like this team should be right back on track as far as their defense is concerned. We agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Just sign one of us to be a GM, and we can fix it, guys.
Somebody call Jerry up.
We just did Stephen Jones' job in like 35 minutes.
Are we past Earl Thomas or what? Is that it?
Underneath the bridge.
That's
I'm
it.
done.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I like Bluff's idea of even because I had the Giants guy on my show the other day, trading for possible Jabril Peppers too from the Giants. Like,
I'm okay with that.
And
you heard me say that?
Yeah. So I told it. I mean, I'm fourth or fifth. Have it, bro. Yeah, I just need a free safety back there, as you said, that can cover a land shark back there and let Donovan Wilson do his thing and read and react. But I don't think we bring in Earl Thomas. I don't think we can pretty much give up that thought. Yeah. So like even though I like my guy Hamsah from Florida State, I really can't rely on him like that. Not yet. And we still don't know what we have in Reggie Robinson, what that's even ever going to amount to.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Yeah. And even in signing, just say we did sign Justin Simmons, I'm still not against drafting one of these guys later at safety to add to that position. I'm definitely not against bringing that guy in for sure.
Listen, I think our safety issue would have been fixed if we would have went after Jamal Adams.
Well, I mean,
because here's the thing. I think Donovan Wilson is baby Adams.
Yeah, Donovan Wilson can play.
I think Donovan Wilson is baby Adams. Look at the stats.
What kind of baby? Like,
baby. I didn't say
he can play now, man.
He's a baby Adams. He plays the same. His game is similar, but how about this one? He covers better than Jamal. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah. He does.
Spoonie, you're agreeing?
Go look at Jamal Adams.
Be careful with that.
Secondary.
Be careful.
Jamal's has trouble covering this year, man.
BJ's right. No, I get BJ's right with that. When it comes to Jamal Adams, okay, I'm not gonna say he's the worst cover guy. But
no. We have Xavier Woods on this team.
Wait, that's my boy. Hey, that's James Boyd. Get off Xavier Woods.
Jay who?
That's James Boyd right there.
How I kick people off this street, man?
That's my boy's guy right there.
Listen, I'm a huge fan of Bobby Belt on Twitter. Huge fan. And he had a prediction. Today out of the secondary, who's staying, who's going. When I saw that part that it said Xavier Woods for What?
Yeah.
Listen, knowing Stephen Jones to save money, I can see him do that, and I hope he doesn't. I really hope he doesn't. Listen, we want a safety, a guy who plays safety, not a guy who he plays corner his whole life. You want to convert him? No, get us a safety. Get us a guy, please.
Stephen Jones loves those corners.
I agree. I agree with
safety that can play corner. Get us a real safety back there.
Right.
I agree with what Jay said.
If Stephen would listen to me, that's when got Logan Ryan, like I said, off
the
season.
Dak probably would not get hurt.
He was right about that. He was definitely right about that.
I agree with what Jay. I agree with what Jay
said. It all day long. Go get Logan Ryan. Nobody. Oh no, Knicks, go look at Tennessee. Blah blah blah. I said no. I said go get Logan Ryan. Trust me.
He had a good season prior to that. He had a good season prior to that.
Yeah. And look what he's doing. And already got an extension with the Giants.
I know what it is about us in safety, man. We're stubborn up there. Front office is stubborn about that position. I don't get it.
Listen, I agree with what Jay said. I agree with what Jay said. I don't want a number one defense. Just get us to be halfway. Get us top.
Yeah, 50. Nick said that earlier. Yeah, we just need somebody.
Jay said we just make that adjustment because we need our defense to stop. We gotta stop letting teams.
We have the offense to run with anyone in the NFL, but we need.
We gotta stop playing catch up. That's what I want to stop.
Yeah, got to start a little bit quicker out the gate. But like I said, and I'll ask y'all this, and I asked this question. I mean, if you go position per position, who has a better offense than us right now? And if we're talking about full strength,
all our starters in Tyron, Leo, Zach Martin there.
Who has a better offense than us right now? And
match up against
absolutely.
Anyone.
If we can get that defense just somewhere around 8 to 12, 8 to 15 even, maybe, you're in a great position at that point.
Yep.
Michael Gallup is valuable, man. He's a critical piece of this offense.
Let's start with a defensive corner that can use our strengths.
Right.
And let's just say at number 10. Let's just say at number 10, we do draft Kyle Pitts at tight end now. Blake Jarwin
now
for 3 years. Imagine Blake Jarwin and Kyle Pitts.
Come on, man.
We already have.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
bring it to me because you can get all these defensive guys still. Plenty of defensive guys to be had. Plenty of defensive guys to get, guys.
Follow Pitts closely down here in Florida, man. The guy's a beast. I mean, what else can you say? The guy's gonna. You put him with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper.
Come on, man.
But I know everyone 50 points again.
Yeah, look, and I know everyone's going to need your because we got to fix the defense. Trust me, guys. You can take a Pitts, or look. I mean, I'm not on the Chase train, but hey, look, even take J Tuck into that with the Chase train. Even you can still fix this defense in the draft because you'll still have 5 picks left.
And we have
over
the
next, and you got an early second, and you got 2/3, 2/4. All these guys that we're kind of talking about are these second and third round guys as we're getting down into this thing, and you can move up. You got flexibility to come and get you 2 second round picks and get you a big nasty and a linebacker possibly in the second round, or a big nasty and a cornerback in the second round, and still have some picks left over in the top 4 rounds to go fix this defense.
Right, you can get at least 2 quality starters.
I'm putting it out there. Are we going? I know you guys are going. Some of you guys are going to the drafts, right?
Depending on. I mean, we'll see what they tell us.
I would love to, but
I don't think
they might have people in there.
They're not going to have fans there.
Yeah,
I don't think.
All right, so we agreed that we don't have fans. We have to go live during the draft.
It'll be on Madden or something. I'll be like NFL draft Madden. Like they're doing a Pro Bowl.
Here's the thing, because we usually the draft last year in Vegas, and it happened. If they cancel the draft in Cleveland, I'm okay with it. Next year's draft is in Vegas. That's the one I really.
So it's back to Vegas after Cleveland.
After this year.
Okay.
Next year.
Cool.
So
you guys know what it is. You guys are down.
Oh, you know I'm going to Vegas, right? I was going to the Vegas Pro Bowl.
I was in Vegas.
Jason Witten came out, had a commercial for the Pro Bowl in Vegas, and they cut it. And
we can't do it. Let me pivot and ask y'all this question though. You know, as we kind of talked about this defense and fixing it. Who's your core? Now, I've been on record. I think they're going to promote George Edwards, reassign Nolan, and that's how they're going to roll this thing. Do y'all think that's what's going to happen, or do you think they're going to bring somebody else in for this defensive coordinator position, guys? I saw a lot of people in the comments as well talking about Sean Lee. Guys, it's the pop dream. If you get Sean Lee on the coaching staff, he's not going to be a defensive coordinator.
Thank you.
Jerry and Steven love in-house guys. We've known that for years. They love their own guys. I could definitely see Edwards become defense coordinator and Nolan having a spot on the defensive side of the ball. For sure, I could see that happening.
You think they're not going to give him the whole boot and say, yo, you got to go?
No,
man,
I don't think
head coach is his homeboy.
Yeah, that's his boy. He brought him in.
You don't want to admit they're wrong.
If we keep George Edwards in-house, if we keep him in-house, I wouldn't be surprised they go after Harris, the safety from Minnesota free agency, and then draft him a safety or future guy in the draft. That would be the look right there, because at least he knows somebody who knows the scheme and everything. Even though for Harris and Wilson, it's not a bad seat right there. It's not.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be George Edwards possibly. I don't see Mike Nolan getting the full fire boot. He's out on the street. Like I said, he'll be shifted over to a different position, especially the way the defense kind of played at the tail end of the season. I feel like that kind of bought him, another paycheck from the Dallas Cowboys. But be careful, y'all, because Jerry Jones like to come in and say, well, the defense started to play a little bit better. Yeah. And I'm like, that's my biggest fear, man. But the only concern I have with George Edwards that if you're in-house and these issues we're still having, you're still lots of your responsibility. So, that's my thing. Because a lot of people say, when it comes to Kellen Moore, it's the red zone issues. Give it to Mike McCarthy and that would change. Well, Mike McCarthy should have some type of impact once we get in the red zone and say, hey, we should implement this. So that's my one concern with George Edwards. You're in there too. So you're at the table. And all these issues are still, amounting, and you really haven't brought no foresight to the team defensively. What can you really bring? So, but I agree. I don't think we go outside of the franchise. Dallas Cowboys, once in-house, they can control it, and they're fully aware, and that's a connection with Mike McCarthy.
Hey, let me say this.
Go ahead.
So, everybody's saying George Edwards. I feel like Scott McCurl is going to get a shot at that DC spot. And the reason I say that is because when I look at George Edwards, going back to Minnesota,
yep.
Mike Zimmer was really the architect of that defense. George Edwards is the 3-4 guy if you really go back and follow his history.
Right.
They didn't run 3-4 in Minnesota, guys. They ran it 4-3. So that lets me know George Edwards doesn't really like to have a lot of control. And the fact that he got fired from Minnesota and he came here and he didn't even take a position job or a DC job, he took an assistant coach job, basically.
Right.
He's not calling any shots. He's just here. That makes me kind of feel like, does he really want responsibility calling the defense?
Right.
Or does he just want to kind of be a mentor or a guy that just hangs around?
I wonder, I always kind of wonder with the hiring, and the thing I always question, was he the, hey, in case of emergency, break the glass and bring him in. But it could be the other side of that too, though, Bluff.
That glass shouldn't have been broken like 6 weeks ago.
Well, we slow around these parts to break the glass.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
But now let me pivot the question to the other side. If you can bring an outside guy in to be the DC for this team, and let's say they decide to go outside, who are you bringing in, J-Tuck? Who do you want to see them bring in?
I'll let you guys go first. The guy I've been saying bring in was the guy they interviewed before they hired Mike McCarthy. So,
okay.
I like Marvin Lewis, but
Me too.
With some of these Black Monday firings, man, it's starting to be a little more appetizing out there. So it's kind of sit back and see what really happens. But Bluff, go ahead, man. Who would you bring in outside?
Honestly, you guys that follow me, I'm a realist.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening, so I haven't even considered it. I honestly haven't considered it. I don't think it's going to happen.
Right.
I think it's Scott McCurley. They want a young, fresh face, somebody that can say he's a fiery head coach. Mike Nolan go back to covering the linebackers. Scott McCurley either gets the Richard, called and plays a designation, or he's the outright DC. I think it stays in-house 100%. So one of you guys can give me one of your hypotheticals because I don't see it.
I don't think it's going to happen either, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's going to stay in-house, man. It's going to stay in-house. Hey, one thing we know about Jerry and Steven, they don't want to admit when they're wrong, right? They'll hold on as long as they can to their own guys. So I just don't see it happening. As much as I would like to bring somebody else in here that knows how to run a 4-3 to perfection, I just don't see Jerry. I'm not going to believe until I see it.
What scares me when it comes to Mike Nolan, look how bad our defense got this year, and there still was no changes.
What is it? I understand Mike McCarthy bringing his own guy, but if you look at Mike Nolan's stats from where he's from, being the Saints linebacker coach and with San Francisco, when was he really successful at defense? When would we see like a top 5 defense? What did they see in him? But I get it. Mike McCarthy brought in his own guy, so.
Like I said, man, the conversation was, oh, man, you got the job for the Dallas Cowboys? Oh, that's what's up. They hiring?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you should put me on like
come on.
You put me on like I put you on, that's what it was.
I remember at one point in the season, I think people were screaming at Jerry for him to go out there and get some defensive guys. And he's like, well, there's nothing wrong with our defense. We just need to fix our issues and our what?
The
guy to go out there and get somebody.
The guy that could fix his defense is Marvin Lewis. right?
I like Marvin.
His specialty is the 4-3. He did it good in
Right.
Cincinnati, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We paid D-Law to play in a 4-3.
4-3. That's
Rush the
that's why
passer.
I'm
Randy
team Marvin
Gregory,
Lewis,
4-3. Right?
you
That
know.
would be the ideal guy, but we know as Cowboy fans,
Mm-mm.
it's a long
So,
shot, man.
Like I said, Marvin Lewis. I mean, Dan Quinn would interest me maybe
Oh, yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn, Marvin Lewis would be a couple of guys at the top of my list to kind of look at.
I don't
But
think
you know
Wade
what does this
I don't
head
think
coach
Wade
want
comes
though?
back.
How about this one? What does the head coach want? Does he want that traditional 3-4 you played up there with Dom Capers, or does he want to stick in the 4-3?
Yeah.
He wants to keep
Yeah.
all 3 timeouts in a tight game. That's
Listen, if we're gonna pay,
Timeouts are better than dubs.
if we're gonna continue to pay D-Law, we got to stay with a 4-3, man.
Listen, D-Law didn't do that bad this year. He had 6.5 sacks. He led in sacks for the Dallas Cowboys.
That's another discussion right there, man. So, you got to give me 15 sacks. You're getting paid $90 million, man. At least 12, something. Give me something.
Yeah, well,
Well, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
I have a strong feeling that we may go 3-4.
you think?
D-Law,
Yeah,
I don't know how
I have
D-Law
that
plays in
feeling.
that.
But see, here's the thing. I know in the past, me and Nick have talked about this. D-Law did stand up at Boise State, but this offseason, everything was kind of on hold. I'll say this though: if you look at the draft last year, Bradley and I, the linebacker, what was his name again? No, from Utah.
Francis
Bernard.
Francis Bernard.
Yeah, Francis Bernard. Thank you, Francis Bernard. Neville Gallimore. What they all had in common, they all played the 3-4 in their college. Right now, when you look at it, Alden Smith, we got Alden Smith back. What is he, a 3-4 guy?
Yeah.
D-Law playing the 4-3 is put a lot of folks on hold. These guys, everybody except for D-Law on that defense can play the 3-4. Now, let's say we go to the 3-4. D-Law will have to be the odd man out. It's going to be hard to trade him. I understand that.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't
he's
know how they're
definitely
going to use him, but you can get your big bodies up front.
How about
to play
Randy
that
Gregory?
3-4.
Randy Gregory can't fit in that.
No,
He played 3-4 Nebraska.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
can.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
So you have more guys in his defense that can play the 3-4. The one who's holding it down is D-Law, and that was the whole thing in the beginning of the season when they went a couple of games with the 3-4. We saw Alden Smith get in there. He was leading the league in sacks already. The minute they went back to the 4-3, it became D-Law. So yes, they have to find out the identity, how they're gonna roll. Yeah. But we got to keep in mind we do have more guys in his defense that can play the 3-4 versus the odd man out would be D-Law. So that's gonna be interesting.
That's really that's the only thing that concerns me if we go to a 3-4.
And just to back up what you said, Sponey, go back to the history of the Cowboys. You look at a guy like Greg Ellis. When he made that transition to a 3-4, there was some concerns the first year. I think he only had 6 sacks. That second and third year, he came out and got double-digit sacks.
Yep.
So it's not to be unheard of that D-Law couldn't make that conversion to a 3-4. And if you look at this staff, if we say we're going to keep this staff, everybody's 3-4 on this staff.
Right.
From top to bottom. So
head coach. Sorry, head coach. Yep.
Even if you assign somebody else to be DC, all of them are 3-4 guys. So the writing's pretty much on the wall.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, look, and to this point from Mark here is that, well, all of a sudden, Gallimore and Hill are going to become your ends.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to become your ends in the 3-4. Now you got to get and Justin. Don't leave out Justin Hamilton as well. He's in that rotation, and of course, if you bring back Woods, he can do that as well.
Yeah,
you for sure at that point, even more than ever. You got to get a big. You got to go get a big nasty. You got to go get a big nasty in the 3-4. I mean, that probably becomes your number one thing that you got to target if this thing's going to switch to a 3-4, right? And then, of course, Gerald McCoy's coming back in the fold. He can play on your outside as well on the defensive line in the 3-4. But it does put you now we got to start talking about the Parsons again because who's playing middle?
Right.
Linebacker. If you think linebacker in the 4-man front's bad, that middle for us in the 3-man front is
right.
And LV's already taking a beating.
Well, hey guys, I don't want to keep you because, like I said, we could go all night with this, man. But before we go ahead. We're gonna go around the clock, man, and tell everybody where they can find y'all, man. I appreciate you guys for coming on.
Fine. Stop a
So
good time.
Hey,
Fine.
Chuck,
Damn,
if y'all
Jay,
got
you
time, I
killing us,
got time. If y'all got time, I got time.
we got nothing.
We got nothing but time.
I mean, listen, is there a game coming on?
I'm down.
Hey,
I got
well, if you
time.
gotta drop off, let's keep the party going.
Let's
man.
keep it going.
Jay's trying to get on that Madden. That's what he's trying to do.
That's Spoon, man. That's my internet connection. Man. He got his router all clicked up in his PS5, man. Hey, Cowboys fan talk. Hold on, my God, Cowboys fan talk. Hold on, bro. I'm gonna sing you something real quick. Go ahead, man. So,
Yeah,
so we talked about Alden Smith. Do you guys think that he will be back next year?
man,
I hope so.
I think he has to get. Here's the thing. I think he has to get a commitment from the coaching staff that we're going to go to a 3-4. If we're not solidified and going to a 3-4, I think Alden's out the door. It's like, hey guys, you know, there's supposed to be a 3-4 here. You know, I did what I had to do for y'all this year. You know, I love you, Tom. You know, his defensive line coach and different things like that. But if we're not going to commit to a 3-4 and what I do best, then I'm probably going to take a check somewhere else with the time I have left. So I think it's going to just come down to.
I was gonna ask you guys about that too. Like he came on hot to start the season, and then he was bad the rest of the year. I mean, I saw him, he was getting bodied by those tackles out there. So yeah, he didn't look good at all. But like Nick just said, if we go to 3-4, he'll definitely excel in our defense. But I don't see him coming back if we play in a 4-3. He'll definitely want to get paid somewhere else and perform well.
Yeah, he'll probably.
I agree.
Yeah. I think his relationship with Tom Sula, I think he'll want to stay with Dallas. I don't see a team outside making a big offer for him. So I think he'll stay. I think he'll stay with Dallas.
I do, Jay. I do see somebody making an offer for him. We did get trade offers from Seattle. Remember, we did. So I do definitely see somebody making an offer to him.
But if you look at what Seattle did, they traded a 7th round pick for the guy from Cincinnati. So it's not like they were just really offering. But
I think they'll probably get an offer more than we're giving them. You know,
the one team I could definitely see we losing him to is the Steelers. Why? They play that 3-4 defense. They surrounded with talent in that defense. And when you're a guy coming back to the NFL, the number one goal is to what? You want to get that check. You want to get that real big check. So let's just say he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's surrounded with talent in that defense that will allow him to do what he does best. But like I said, just like BJ said, if we don't get a commitment, if we don't get a commitment from the defensive staff that they're going 3-4, I don't think he's staying.
And that's part of my whole thing about this whole entire offense, guys.
Yeah.
You know, for me, one of the things I talk about a lot when it comes to this Cowboys organization and whatnot, and we talked about, well, we brought in a super winning coach to get us over the hump. Injuries be damned or whatever. At a certain point as an organization, man, you got to push your chips in the middle. And part of pushing your chips into the middle is saying, okay, we're signing Dak. We're not playing around no more. We're going to be laser focused on what we're going to do. So don't leave it up to chance. Put in exactly what we're going to be. All right, you've had a year, you know, what do we want to call it? The preseason year, right? As SoFlo said, right? We had the preseason year. Okay, so you kind of understand what these guys can do and whatever kind of system you want to put them in. All right, now let's get to work. Let's get to work and let's not play around. The season is over now. So at this point, let's go ahead. Let's line up these chips. Here's what we're doing. We're sticking to our guns, and we're going to make sure that because even last year, the term was schemeless. But we're a schemeless defense, and we're going to be multiple. And no, get that out of here. Now, I'm okay with you saying I don't care about the player bringing Boogie to work. That's fine. We can work with that, right? That's how you get up with a CD Lamb, of course, right? So with that being said, though, find out what your identity is going to be. As Jay Tuck, you said that, nail on the head. What's the identity? Right. Figure it out so you can put your plan together so you know what you need to go get, not just in free agency or via trade or in also into this draft. And have these things lined up. So we know, hey, you get the offensive coordinator, right? So the offense is going to be without a hitch. You got to go to work on this defense. And the number one thing they got to do is A, name that defensive coordinator, and B, here's the plan of what this defense is going to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
So wait, I have a question. So you guys going into the draft, offensive, we have nothing to go get.
If Pitts is there,
well, I wouldn't say that. I'm gonna go that far,
man. I don't know. You can't pass that guy.
Right.
You just can't.
It's like
CD. It's like CD.
It's like CD. Yeah.
Pitts. You can't pass him.
Yeah. And look, in the later rounds, if you want to add another running back or if you want to add an offensive lineman, I can see those things happening in the later rounds of the draft. And don't rule out them drafting another quarterback late. Because this is what this coaching staff does. Yeah. This coaching staff does.
As much as I want defense there, again, going back to it again, we have an early 2nd round pick. We have a top 10. Listen, Pitts is a generational talent. He can do what like Kelsey does for our offense. You know what I'm saying? This guy is a mismatch.
Fix the red zone.
Well,
Pitts fixes the red zone.
Right.
Real quick,
You don't
I was
pass
doing
on special players.
I was doing a mock draft yesterday, right? Now this is funny. So we had the number 10 overall pick. The coach called in on Draft Network, and I love Draft Network how they do the phone call. It's kind of cool. So I get the phone call coming in. They're saying, "Well, listen, we want to give you our first round pick, a second, and a seventh." So I'm looking like, who's on the board? This is it. It's Devontae Smith from Alabama, the wide receiver. So I'm like, oh,
My guy.
that's what it is. So
What's going on, y'all?
I came out.
That wasn't.
I took the trade. I was able to swap the first round pick with the Colts. I got an extra second, and I got an extra fifth. So with the first round pick, who was available at the time, it was Campbell.
Me too, Mendoza.
Out of Georgia.
Yeah, me too.
I took Campbell out of Georgia. Here's the funny part. In the second round, I reached up for Jaden Collins out of Tulsa. But when it was my turn again, Najee Harris, the running back out of Alabama. That's what got me.
Oh, no.
Hey, can we mute Spoonie?
Listen, Najee's good, but
No, I like Najee.
Yo, what's up, fan talk?
But it was
Hey, what's going on,
funny how
Joe?
he was still listen, we know running back is not really high priority in a lot of these drafts. When I saw Najee Harris there, big dude, I thought to myself, you know what? I got to just take the best player available, and I took him. But I know.
Look at Nick's face. Look at his face.
It will be an uproar. I took him.
Knicks, that's your boy. Knicks, that's your boy.
No, that's Jay Tuck's tag team champion.
I mean, I understand.
We're going off topic here, man. We're Najee Harris.
Now, I feel like a third is kind of a stretch, not a third, but when you get to those like fourth and fifth rounds, they're running back staring us in the face, we struggle using the running backs that we have currently in house. So what's the point?
Unless we trade Zeke in the offseason, I don't see a running back.
I get that. I definitely get that. But listen, we could definitely have an impact. I know folks were saying that in the beginning where we was in the top 3 range because we was losing games, so we can't make a trade. With the 10th overall pick, you can still make a trade depending on what's available in front. Especially with these quarterbacks going high, like you guys.
Where's Zach Wilson? Where's he going?
Right. So in the top 3, and listen, he may go number 3 to Miami if they don't like Tua for some reason. That's been a big thing today for what Flores said in his interview. He didn't commit to Tua. That's discussion right there.
Yeah,
so
I can see that.
Those quarterbacks still going in the top 5 can still leave those wide receivers available in our spot, and you never know. Somebody would definitely call because Devontae Smith, guys like Jamar Chase, Waddle from Bama, those guys are game breakers.
Right.
So it can happen still.
Right. So I got my guy Rome, Cowboys fan. Talk, what's going on, bro? So we've been chiming in. We're going to take this back. We already addressed this question, but I'm going to ask you. So what is your thoughts on the season, man? What happened? I want you to summarize this season, this 2020 season. You can call it that.
This should be interesting.
And one word, just a roller coaster, I guess.
Right.
A whole bunch of checking in and checking out, for lack of better wording. You checked in fully in the beginning, and then the whole quarterback song and dance we did in the middle, you checked out.
Right.
And then you check back in a little bit around Thanksgiving, like, all right, I think we might have this. And then you check back out, and then they go on a 3-game winning streak, and you're like, all right, we do got this. And then yesterday just leave you kind of in a cluster F because you confused, like, what are we? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I've really been trying to figure out myself what kind of team we are, because like yesterday really kind of, I guess every little facet they can kind of leave you confused in the offseason. You kind of like,
hell yeah.
You don't know if you settled in on coaching. You're like, damn, I was kind of with McCarthy in the 3-game winning streak. Now he threw me off.
Right.
Only thing I am sure of is I don't want Nolan back. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, I think we all can agree on that. So let me piggyback that question, man, because that's kind of my question.
Hey, real quick.
Go ahead.
Chargers just asked to interview Jason Garrett for their head coaching job.
I told y'all, man. Jason Garrett's going to
get no head coach. Get out of here.
I bet he will.
For who?
I bet he
The
will.
Chargers?
Via Ian Rappaport.
You know what? he might get that job.
Well, Herbert, that offense, Kenny Allen, I can see it.
Yep. So speaking of coaches, is Mike McCarthy the guy for the Dallas Cowboys? I'm gonna start with you, Spoon.
Whew. I give the first one. Yeah, as of right now, yes. I'm giving him this year a shot. End of the day, we didn't have a full off season, and I've been saying this is not really his team. I want to see what he does next year. So as of right now, yes. Listen, these guys fought. These guys fought to the end. The month of December was great for the team.
Boy, Sid got
They
something to say.
respond to him. So
Man, raise your hand like he in class.
Sid got something to say.
All right, Sid. I'm gonna call on you, Sid. Go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna break it down like this, and I think I said it earlier this year. I'd like to see Mike McCarthy back. I think he has the right intentions in play. He does. He had a lot of challenges this year. A whole new coaching staff, bunch of rookies. We lost our QB. We had a lot of injuries. So do I think Mike McCarthy could do the right thing with the team going forward, with the team being healthy and getting Dak signed and going out and getting our proper safety and our secondary fixed and so on? Do I think Mike do big things to get us to that Super Bowl? When he first took on Green Bay, his first year, he struggled. Right? So I think that going into the season, Mike McCarthy is the right guy for us.
The bigger thing is Jerry and Steven. They're not going to give up on a coach after a year or two.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. It's going to be at least they're going to at least give them 3-4 seasons. You know, and they probably not even counting this season with what happened. You know, so it's definitely going to come down to Jerry and Steven about how long they want to give them. And it's going to be a few seasons.
I don't think. I think.
Well,
Go ahead. Sorry.
How about this?
I'm just saying I agree with you.
Yeah. How old is Kellen Moore again?
34, I think.
Oh, we know that's the long play.
Yeah, no, yeah. How old is
Head coach?
Kellen Moore? How old is Kellen Moore?
30s, early 30s, yeah.
Okay. 32, 33, right? Okay. Yeah. So McCarthy's got 3 years.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
it'll
be the Kellen Moore show.
Yeah.
About 2 to 3 seasons.
He'll give Kellen a job early if we go 4-something next year, he's gonna
Well, let me know whenever Kellen turns 36 is when Mike McCarthy's got a problem. I'll put it that way.
There you go.
Wait for 2.0.
Sid, I'll piggyback off of what you said. With all the injuries, I hate to sound cheesy. I can't grade him right. You lose your starting quarterback. That's
Big
one
facts.
thing. You lose your starting quarterback and both your starting tackles and your running back Gimpy, and you lose D tackles and starting tight ends, and it's like, all right, man, at this point, it's really hard to grade you. You ain't got who you working with.
Yeah.
Like they whined about the Eagles not having to bench everybody yesterday, but we got people that's on the bench. It ain't really our choice. They just out.
Yeah, this entire offensive line.
The entire offense. You're right.
You're entire
with Connor Williams is like one of your best options. You're not really.
Yeah, it started with the beard retiring, and it just kept on.
That hurt the most. Losing Frederick was horrible.
Bluff, let me get your take on it.
I mean, I could just piggyback off everything Spoony said. Just plain and simple. You got to give him another year. He's the coach for us right now. I've seen some of the options that have gotten floated out, like that college coach. I don't even say his name because he'll quit on the team in 2 months.
Right.
But you hear stuff like that, and it's like there aren't really a lot of options out there for head coach. So let's see what this guy has for another couple of years. And I'm with you, Nix. Moore signed a 3-year deal. When that deal ends, his next deal is going to be for a head coaching job. Whether it's here or somewhere else, it's going to be for a head coaching job.
Yep.
Yeah, so therefore, Cowboys fans, we just got to wait this thing out for 3 more years, and because you already know where I stand, so there's no need for me to answer the question. So
I got a question for you. Who y'all want as D coordinator?
So we addressed.
I missed it. I'm sorry, I missed it. I'm late.
I think we all agree pretty much it's going to be in-house. I think out-house Marvin Lewis was my pick.
Marvin Lewis, yep, mine too.
Dan Quinn, Marvin Lewis, Dan Quinn.
I like Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, so I mean, but we all think it'll be in-house. Like I said,
George Edwards, that's what you thinking?
Yeah.
George Edwards, yeah. Yeah. So
I don't disagree with George Edwards. I don't think they're not gonna give Tom Sula the job.
I think it's McCurley.
Think so?
Well, yeah, here's the thing with Bluff is saying McCurley has been with McCarthy since 2006.
Yep.
Yeah, 06, a long time, and I think it was between 7 and 12. He was the linebackers coach, and then his
Does he run the same
so,
scheme as you think he's gonna run the same scheme as Nolan, or are you gonna just scrap it?
It's gonna be a 3-4.
It'll be 3-4.
I think it's
I
going-
think
yeah.
I think we're going 3-4 this year.
I think they go 3-4 if they get rid of D-Law. I just don't.
I
see
hate it. I don't want to be a 3-4, but damn it,
I think
And
they're
those,
gonna go
and those
4-3.
linebackers we got, those linebackers in
You know
3-4.
why I think they're gonna go 4-3? Because I know they're gonna bring McCoy back, and I know they like Gallimore. So
there you go.
but you can slide them out to your DNs in the 3-4.
Yeah, Gallimore.
yeah, but you're not. Where
3-4.
D-Law going?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm with you. Preaching to the
Jerry
choir.
Jones love Randy Gregory more than D-Law. So
We're not going. We're not going.
And Randy
3-4, man.
Randy Gregory played in the 3-4 in college. That's what he did best.
Oh, okay. I
was
see what you're
standing.
saying.
Yeah.
But D-Law ain't going nowhere because of money, and Randy Gregory, they love it. They love that dude.
And our linebackers. Our linebackers can't play no 3-4. LV will get beat up.
I think
Point of attack, not very
I
good.
think 4-3 fits our personnel best. So hopefully,
Right. I think we're a lot closer with the 4-3 scheme.
Tristan Hill and Evan Gallimore, they'll be fine in the 4-3.
I think 3-4 is more of a project. Granted, Spoon mentioned that we do have players in place that can play it, but I think a 3-4 scheme for us right now, currently, as we stand, is more of a project than going back to a 4-3.
But we're going to continue to throw these darts, though.
Yeah.
We're going to keep throwing these darts until they come out and give us. I don't want to hear schemeless. I don't want to hear none of that BS.
Yeah.
It's multiple and all that. Come out. Here's the coordinator. Here's what we're doing, and then put in the work to get the players here to make it happen. And you're right. The pieces wise, we are much closer for a 4-3 front. Look, I don't like using 4-3. It's a 4-man, a 3-man front, right? I mean, how many times you see 3 linebackers out there with a 4-man front? Let's stop. So a 4-man front, a 3-man front. Figure it out and go attack it.
y'all already addressed who y'all wanted in the draft, I'm sure, too.
Hey, Cowboys fan talk. Cowboys fan talk.
Hey,
Hey, let me say this. I never met you before, man. So what's up, man?
Oh, man. Oh, my fault, man. How you doing?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Now, I was going to say this. You were mentioning George Edwards because I think you assume he's a 4-3 guy. He's actually a 3-4 guy.
He a 3-4 guy, too?
If you go back and look at his history, when he went to Buffalo as the defensive coordinator, they were running a 4-3, and he converted them to a 3-4.
I thought they was running. What was they running in Minnesota?
They ran a 4-3 in Minnesota, but that was Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer's defense is 4-3.
Okay. That's why I'm leaning. I was leaning towards what what's the dude we let go? Went to Detroit.
To Detroit.
Oh,
I mean, the Colts?
No. I know you're talking about. Everson Griffin.
Everson Griffin. I was thinking
yeah.
all that kind of came to mind, like, oh, that's what they ran into Minnesota. So I was thinking that's what he would want to bring.
Yeah,
but George Edwards, they ran a 4-3 in Buffalo. He was the DC, and he changed them to a 3-4 because he said that's his defense.
I do like that he seems more. I know he don't seem like a rah-rah guy, but he definitely seems like an X and O guy, and maybe that's what we need. Because I don't know, whatever Nolan was teaching, maybe he was throwing too much stuff at the dartboard, like he just had them all confused. Because I really don't look. If we can't get rid of Jalen, we need somebody that can fix him.
Yeah, so let me get your
Can
thoughts.
that be fixed?
We spoke about Jalen
He
earlier.
probably can't be fixed.
Man, again, fixed, bro.
So Ron, let me get your thoughts, your take on Jalen, because we spoke about that earlier. I'm curious to hear your take on him. Do you think he can be fixed, or is he just?
All of my daughters. I'll be up there in a minute, Madison.
Yeah.
She said,
Not knocking at the door today.
Hey, I told you she'd find me. Jalen is. I made a whole video about. I think I hate Jalen Smith. Like,
You're not alone, bro.
That was before I saw him fake fight yesterday. Like, I'm still dumbfounded at that video, and it's not even on no tough guy stuff. It was just like he's at this point. He's a caricature of himself.
Right.
He's like a cartoon. Like, I can't take him serious. Like, even watching a little post game, you'll watch the film. Like, I don't like his whole demeanor, attitude. So before we even get to play on the field, it's like he got the Dallas, like, I call it like Dallas-itis. Like, his mind is messed up.
Right.
When he came out of Notre Dame, he was a totally different type of person, I feel like.
Yeah.
Real driven about football, got back on the field. But I feel like the fame, and he's probably super famous in Dallas. Like, he probably can't walk without people being excited to see him.
Right.
Yes.
His mindset messed up. So
That's why
like,
changed a little bit, though.
he can't even admit when he's wrong. Like, he can't like admit, like, hey man, so how you feel about your play? I'm good.
Now I will pause you on that, because how can we expect Jalen Smith, the player, to act like that when the head coach doesn't? But go ahead.
Well, the head coach probably got the same thing. Like, he comes to Dallas and he got wide eyes.
Right.
It's sad. I don't know what happens to some of the players. Like they're super hungry at first, and then you walk around probably Dallas. I'll live in Dallas, and you probably get so much props. You stop working hard, and it's confusing because like look at Zeke.
Breach.
Look at most of the players. Like it's like the person I thought I was putting this on that really showed up this year to me. Maybe not in the sack category. I can't lie. D-Law show up every game. He play hard as hell.
Yeah. Right.
He play hard as hell. I can't put the same stuff. I saw Jalen get a tackle yesterday. The dude got the first right.
He's doing the swipe.
Right.
So I'm just like he's at this point he's just somebody. He need to be humble. Like somebody need to come in next year and bench him.
Right.
And like not be playing, like not bench him for a quarter. Be like, yo, if you want to get on the field, you got to earn it.
Right.
Even
that's never been the culture in Dallas. I mean, since
Jimmy Johnson was.
Since Jimmy Johnson, but like it just isn't that way. These players know once I get my contract, I can do what I want because you're not going to go to no other option. Like personally, as a Cowboys fan, I used to say this all the way about Romo. Like Romo could throw 3 to 4 picks a game because who are you going to place him with? You can't. You ain't gonna mention him. So
but listen. As you say, like we're hopefully. Let's just speak hypothetically. Hopefully, they're trying to change the culture. What if they do cut Jalen? I think that'll send the best message ever to the whole team.
Right.
We tired of the bullshit. Now I don't know if they're gonna do it, but if they cut Jalen, a substantial player, like as far as
a known player,
everybody be on alert.
Right. That's how we feel. The ownership feel like he's a substantial player. So if they cut him, I feel like it'll wake up the team.
Right.
Because look, next person who's going to probably get the most props this offseason? Donovan Wilson.
Right.
Yeah. Now I'm afraid because we went from him being so hungry to get on the field.
Right. So now he's getting the star. Yeah.
Now I'm scared he's gonna come back next season not as focused because he's gonna spend the whole offseason. People gonna big him up and he gonna feel like I'm nice. I made it.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't make it yet.
Right.
Until we walking off the field at the bare minimum losing an NFC championship game, you haven't. That's my bare minimum. I can sleep at night with that. Until they can do that.
Right.
Like I don't even want to playoff win no more. You got to lose an NFC championship game, and I mean close. Don't get blown out.
Right. And a lot of that's our responsibility, Cowboys fans, because we put a lot of these players on the pedestal. We've all been guilty.
You know what I've been getting about this Andy Dalton video?
Oh yeah.
This dude is back today. Like he whoever he is, he do not like me. He came today. He told me the other day. He was telling me how Andy Dalton was the future, and then after Andy Dalton said he tested free agency. He literally came back to the same post and said, "That's cool because we drafted Zach Wilson." I was like, "Yo, you don't stop."
Right. some of these fans, bro,
he hate me and he hate Dak. I don't know who he is, but he is mad at life.
after seeing Andy Dalton's performance, and then seeing the post about him saying he wants to go into free agency to be a starting QB, I'm like, bro, you're doo-doo, you're trash.
No, good riddance. If he already, it's like when they say you thinking about retirement, you already retired. If he's already thought about leaving, let him go.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be back next year. I hope not.
Right.
Let Gigi be back up at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Patriots can use anybody, so he can find a job.
I think he sinks if he goes to New England, man. But yeah, I don't see there's no need to actually retain Andy Dalton at this point. Like personally, I would have been perfectly fine if we did run the rest of the season with Gary Gilbert. I know we kind of spoke about that.
Hey, look, you was right. I was on the I was on the Dalton train, but you can't it's like this. You give somebody an inch, they want to take a mile.
Right.
I was like, he's serviceable. They skip right over serviceable. You won't even need Dak. I was like, all right, never mind.
Right.
People take it too far.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Andy Dalton is a great serviceable backup quarterback.
Right.
And look, and I would love to have him back in that capacity if that's what he wants to do. If he wants to go test and become a starter and go to Jacksonville, be a bridge gap for whoever they take, Trevor Lawrence, whatever the case may be, and so be it. That's fine. I think one of the reasons why I wanted to see Double G for the rest of the season was to see is the Steelers game a one-off or can he be a sustainable backup quarterback for us? But at this point, I would definitely bring back Double G, in camp to be the starting out the gate. Obviously, we did sign Cooper Rush to a futures deal as well, to be the backup going into things. And another reason why I said earlier, I believe late in this draft, this is what this coaching staff has historically done. They drafted Ben DiNucci last year. They'll draft another quarterback late this year as well to come in and compete.
Yeah, what was the guy a few years ago, Mike White, that everyone was pretty much high on?
Oh yeah,
I liked him.
Yeah, I did like Mike White too. I was a fan of Mike White. Everybody's supposed to have been a replacement for Dak back then. Mike White, Cooper Rush, and anybody that can throw a little bit. All right, guys. So it's getting late. I'm starting to get the text. But last question: when it comes to the offensive line going to next year, we talked about the depth that we have. What do you think their offensive line will look like going into the first game this season? Do we think Tyron Smith? I know there's kind of whispers of possibly retirement for Tyron. We can move on from him or release him. What do you guys think the thoughts are for Tyron Smith? I'll start with you, Sid, since you're in the middle.
Yeah, man. I think I said it before earlier, and I said I don't see Tyron being with us next year. So I see him retiring at this point, and we need to fill that gap. But that's me. That's what I see.
John?
Zach Martin said it today. He said La'el Collins and Tyron Smith have been working out. They're looking good. I think Tyron can play a few more seasons, man. That's an all-pro line left tackle we got out there. It's hard to find one of those guys in the NFL, bro. We have one that can at least be serviceable. So I think we'll be on an offensive line. We get Zach Martin back. Be it actually pretty good. McGovern did pretty good. So I'm confident with La'el Collins and Tyron Smith coming back.
All right, Spoon.
No, I think he'll be back. I just think that you just have somebody like a Brandon Knight behind him in case Tyron misses like two or three games. Just have somebody who's serviceable behind him. And that'll be it. I don't think we need to draft a left tackle. Because like we said earlier, some of these guys have been playing this year. Some of them will be back as backups. Yep. And Brandon Knight, for me, I think he could do a good job to come in for Tyron Smith, especially with the rest of the guys being there.
Yeah, he did well. He did well this season.
Right. He did. Nick, so we all agree? Bluff, agree?
Well, I think one thing, the only caveat I would have in that is don't forget about the young stud from Mexico that we got that's in the pipeline right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure we keep a look on Alarcon during this offseason, see what kind of jump he makes from season 1 to season 2 to see what he can give you.
Dak liked him a lot.
What he can give you at the tackle position. And also, I think, and I'm going to piggyback off of this right here, Connor Williams, I think it was you, Bluff. Connor Williams had his best season. His value is probably the highest. You're probably not going to re-sign him. I would look to move him for a piece because Connor McGovern has showed me more than enough.
That's what
he can slide over here and play left guard. So I'm going Tyron Smith. I'm going Connor McGovern. I'm going Tyler Badaz. We're getting all-world, all-president, the senator, everything you want to call him, and Zach Martin back, and then La'el Collins over here.
I don't think Tyron Smith is back.
Everything Nick said. I ain't got nothing else to say. That's exactly
another summer of Connors versus the Connor.
He gets overpowered too much, man. I'd rather see McGovern in there.
Yeah, I personally would too.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Because we talk about Tyron Smith's injury. We're not talking about that La'el Collins injury.
That's what I was getting ready to say. That's my biggest
hip.
Yeah. You don't just get a hip injury overnight, and those things aren't easy to recover from.
Right.
We don't know how much athleticism he may lose or how much bend and dip and twist he may lose from that injury. We may be forced to put him back at guard if he's lost a lot of athleticism.
I think they can put Knight at the other tackle if they're forced to do that.
Yep.
I agree with that too. But I'm just want to let you guys know that right tackle spot is not as secure as we think it is.
I'd be mad though because we put money into him. That's why I would be mad.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was getting ready to say.
Guard is not a bad thing. Guard for him is not a bad thing. He did pretty well playing guard.
I mean, because you could go Tyron Smith, you could do La'el Collins, Tyler Biotish, Zach Martin, and Brandon Knight at right tackle. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
That's still a mean line. That's a mean line right there.
That is.
Yeah, that is. All right, guys. Like I said, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming on. So we're gonna go around the table, man. So my guy, Bluff City, man, tell everybody once again where they can find you at.
All right, guys. You find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Bluff City Cowboys. When you go to YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. I got to 100 finally. Help me get to the next plateau. Let me get some more likes. We're changing our show from Wednesday nights to Thursday nights at 7:30 Central Time. It's called the Cowboy Zone. So if you guys are looking for some Cowboys talk, be sure to come check us out. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter every Thursday night, 7:30. Got a lot of great guys on this panel. Make sure you add me to your list of guys to watch.
Absolutely, man. Very knowledgeable guy, man. Nick's you up, man.
Yeah, man. As you see at the bottom of the screen, come follow me on Twitter at @your_guy_Nicks. And get involved in the Twitter conversation. We have a good time over there. Star Gang is the Facebook group. Come join. We're over 3,000 strong, man. Come jump in there, get a part of the conversation. Go like and follow the Stargame page as well on Facebook. And, of course, on the YouTube, Stargame Podcast. Hit the sub, hit the notification button. You'll catch me and that guy Spoonie over there doing some things. Every Tuesday night, we bring the Cowboys Report at 8 p.m. Central with me, Spoonie, and Mary Ella.
All right, my guy, John.
You can follow us at SoFlo Cowboys on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, every social media platform. SoFlo Cowboys, like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Sid, you up?
Yeah, man, it's your boy Sid. You know who it is. You can find me at Dallas Cowboys, the number 4 life, and also on my Twitter, Sid DC for life. And I've said it before, guys, on Twitter, go and follow this guy on Twitter because he's got some crazy knowledge, and he needs some followers. So go follow.
Hey,
him.
I got like 8 followers. I appreciate it.
Hey, go subscribe to all these guys, and I want to thank my guy, Jay Tuck, for having me on again. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. The finger pointing is like
it's different, man. Appreciate
please
you.
Subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll be at it again soon.
Spoon.
You can find me on Twitter at Spoonie881. I'm also in Stargame Podcast with DJ Nix. We on Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Time. And listen, it's been a great doing this with you guys, and I apologize for the internet. I'm definitely getting that worked out tomorrow morning.
Yeah, still got the dial up, man.
And one more thing, and Tuck, baby will arrive tomorrow. Don't hype me on Madden. It's coming tomorrow.
No, man, you don't want that. I'm telling you, it's a different game going from the PS4 to PS5, man. It's really different. Because I jumped back on the PS4 the other day, and that thing was moving so damn fast. I'm not used to that, man. So we'll definitely. I got all the smoke you need, man. Ron, go ahead and holler at me, bro.
Hey man, it's your boy Mr. Ron, Cowboys Fan Talk. You can find me on YouTube, Cowboys space talk. On Twitter, it's Cowboys_Fan Talk. Like Sid was saying, I got like 8 followers, so you try to be 9. I appreciate it. And I'm on Instagram as well. And I appreciate y'all having me on. Thanks for sending the link. You know what I'm saying? Sorry about the background. I had to jump in while I could, but I appreciate you bringing me on.
Yeah, this is kind of a spur of a moment thing. I kind of had this idea. Me and Bluff is going to do a show, and I was like, you know what? Let's just bring everybody in because everybody has so much to say about the game yesterday and the season ending. I didn't want to do a show tonight and do a show tomorrow and do a show this is all come together. So we're going to be doing this a lot more, y'all, especially in the off season, man, because as we know, that's when the pillars are really built for the season, man, especially as we get ready for draft time and free agency. So great content, man. Follow each and every one of these guys because they're sharp. They know their stuff, just like everybody in the chat too, man. I appreciate everyone in the chat, man. Like I said, it's been a rough Dallas Cowboys season, unexpected. I had to cancel my hotel for Tampa in February because I booked it, thought we were Super Bowl bound, but it's not going to happen, man. But I think next year's LA, right? Now let me pump the brakes on. Let me chill.
Let's get Dak signed and let's see what this defense is going to look like.
Let's also have a preseason this year. We need
a preseason. Like Sid's been talking about the draft and fans or whatnot. The most important thing is we need to be at Oxnard for training camp because I need to see visually my damn self what the hell's going on. I'm not sitting back on Twitter relying on media tweets like, oh, Jalen Smith is looking explosive and he's going to be a standout year. Nah, I need to see it for myself this year. So hopefully get out to Oxnard, man. But everyone follow me on Twitter at JTuck151. I appreciate each and every one of you. I always bring that chaos. Cowboys fans only on YouTube. Comment, like, subscribe, and CowboysFansOnly.com. Like I said, we're going to be doing a lot more content, draft content, whatnot, man. The off season is when the fun really starts, man. So it's your boy Jay Tuck signing off. Go follow each and every one of these guys. Like I said, man, you guys stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. Yeah. And let's go, Cowboys.
Peace out. The party's over.